The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
What day is it?
It's Monday.
Yeah, I got a job in an ice cream shop. Eric, you can't just sit there at a table. Yeah, I can. It's Monday. So haven't you heard of Bare Minimum Mondays? I don't care if it's Bare Minimum Mondays. Eric, you need to come. Break time. I'll be back.
Well, where is your friend?
He hasn't come back from his break yet. Hey, Butters. Hey, Eric, where are you? I wasn't feeling the best, so I decided to work from home. Eric, you need to come here right now, or we're both going to get fired. Okay, I guess so. But don't forget that tomorrow is Take It Easy Tuesdays.
Let's start the show.
Yeah, here we go. We're diving face first into another week of programming here on the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Sure hope every damn buddy had a terrible weekend. Just awful.
Oh, that's not a nice way to start the morning.
We got something special going today. Right away on a Monday morning, we're lucky enough to have a chance to visit with an all-timer. We're expecting Natalya Neidhart of the WWE to swing by later on around 8:30 this morning. I hope that's the name she doesn't mind going by, Natalya Neidhart. Natalya. I don't know why I felt like I needed to throw the Neidhart in there. Most folks know who I'm
dad.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm sure that's why.
Sure. Around 8:30 this morning. WWE Raw is in town tonight at Target Center. And live on television on USA. And she's one of the best that company has ever had.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm pretty pumped. I know Wapple and Dana, Josh, your wife and kid are probably pumped to hear.
Yeah, they're super excited.
To hear Natalya on the air.
Yeah.
And they're going to the show tonight.
They are.
Boy, were they rolling in the trucks yesterday.
A lot of trucks going this way, that way, WWE on the side.
Oh, yeah. Probably like 20 trucks, semi-trucks pulling in and out of there.
Oh, that's sweet.
And speaking of great athletes, yesterday was Wapple's turn over at Target Center.
They made him wait it out.
Yeah. Oh,
yesterday was Wapple's turn to throw a ceremonial first pitch. I was hoping they didn't make you just hump your hand for 2.5 hours down there in the undercarriage of the stadium. How does a person say that? In the you know what I'm talking about?
In the bowels.
Bowels of the
stadium.
Because there was a 2.5 hour some odd rain delay for the ball game. You were planning on throwing out the ceremonial first pitch.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen at 1:10.
Right.
That was game time, so I was going to throw out the pitch at 12:50.
Right.
But then I don't think I got to it until about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you didn't have to sit down there and sit. Did they send you back up to the bleachers and said, hey, come back over here in an hour or so?
They actually let us go into what they call the third base lounge.
Third base lounge?
So it's underneath in the stadium bowels pretty much, but it's where the rich people get to go.
Oh,
it's
I've been in there.
People concession stands.
I've been in there. Christ, you can put anything you want on a bowl of ice cream and prime rib. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool down there. Everyone from the Twins was amazing. They were so nice.
They're nice people.
Yeah, every single one. And then they kind of let us go up to the field a little bit during the rain delay. Got to check everything out by the visitors' dugout.
Sure.
Talked to a very nice security guard, Andy. What up? He arrested me.
He what?
He arrested me.
What were you arrested for?
He said, hey, Wapple, come on over here. I got to talk to you really quick. And then he was like, sorry to do this in front of friends and family. And then he put handcuffs on me.
Cute.
Sorry to do this in front of 60 to 70 friends and family that you brought with you?
Yeah, I think we had like 55 people in total.
Dang.
Yeah,
I figured, they got all the high-test weather radars. They know when they're going to fire the game up again. At least they have a pretty good idea. I was hoping they would say, hey, look, it's probably going to be 90 minutes. Go have some fun, as opposed to, sitting around and doing nothing. It sounds like they showed you a good time.
Oh, yeah. Everyone was amazing there.
That's great.
And then they kind of let us go back up by friends and family and then, tried to do it all over again.
Who else did you throw out a first pitch with?
So there was
How many were there? Four?
There
It
was
seems like there's four.
Yeah, there was 4 other people. There was a dude from like Tria Orthopedics, and then there was 2 kids, and then me, and then a country music star.
Oh, would we know the name?
Probably not, but Josh Ross. He's opening up for Nickelback and Brantley Gilbert.
I don't like
cool.
the last name.
Yeah, I don't either.
I love the first name.
Yeah, but I got a way bigger pop than that dude did.
Yeah, you did.
Everyone was like, "Whoa, Wapo!"
Well, that's because you brought the whole stadium.
Well, yeah, you brought 60 people, for God's
Can't
sake.
take anything away from you. That's very cool.
Yeah, I had a built-in audience. I just,
Yeah.
I brought everyone I knew was going to cheer for me.
You brought Section 101,
Yeah.
essentially.
And especially after a rain delay, a lot of people probably left early, so your family was the bulk of the audience.
Oh boy, you did not need to give the Wapples more time to drink.
Oh, really? They were pretty tuned up at that point?
Yeah, did they go for it?
Even your 94-year-old grandma, was she gassed too?
No, she wasn't, but she was super pumped, really proud. She kept saying that.
That's
that felt
great.
really cool.
Yeah, you want that from your grandparents.
Good for you, Wapple.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw the video. You bounced it. Which-
No, I didn't.
What?
I made it over the plate. I hit the glove of TC, and then it went bouncing off into the Twins dugout.
Oh,
And then-
maybe I must have looked at a funny something or another. What the hell did I see?
I
Don't know.
Oh, okay, fair
The
enough.
video sucked.
Oh,
so
yes.
maybe that's
Oh, it
part
looked
of what
at
it
the
was.
video I saw looked like you skipped it.
We got a couple of different camera angles you can check out on social media. Wapple just sent me a better one where you can see it a little bit more clear.
So you hit
Yeah.
his glove?
Yeah, it hit the glove, but then TC never caught it, and it caromed off into the Twins dugout. And then Rocco Baldelli comes up with my baseball. That was really cool.
I'll tell you what. Then it settled then. It settled.
I'm the better athlete.
You are the finest athlete on the program.
Very high bar.
Never doubted you, Wapple. You look cool out there.
God, was I so nervous before? Like,
Oh, you said you weren't going to be nervous.
so I never got to practice, and then before we left, we went to a baseball field, and me and my girlfriend marked off 60 feet, and I started throwing, and then I felt better. Because I was like, okay, now I know the distance, and, throwing a baseball, I haven't done that in 10 years.
Right.
Rather than throwing a softball, which is
Right.
totally different.
I saw you Cactus Jack the crowd.
Oh, yeah, double cactus jack. Bang, bang.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, it was
That's
so
hilarious.
because there was a really cool picture, but it got pixelated that my girlfriend got, and it was me when I was doing the Cactus Jack Bang Bang, and then they had Wapple 93X, and I looked cool for once.
It did look cool.
I'll be
Like I
damned.
said, you look good out there.
yeah, it was a blast. Thanks
You know-
to the Twins again.
They're wonderful people. Did I tell you what Dick Bramer told me? Because I went to see Dick before my ceremonial first pitch. Did I tell you what he said about TC Bear? And trust me, I'm not the kind of guy that's ever going to be spitting any kind of negative propaganda about TC Bear. The man's one of my heroes. The Bear is one of my heroes. You know, I love all the local mascots. But you said that your throw bounced off TC's glove, you said. Mm-hmm. When I was talking to Dick before I threw the pitch, I don't know, we were just kind of joking back and forth about how I should approach it, blah, blah. And Dick said, well, if TC doesn't catch it, don't worry about it. He never catches anything. He says, we've got a mascot who can't catch.
Yep.
I wonder how hard it is to see out of that, that bear head.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't throw it right down the middle, it's got to be so hard to see, I bet.
And, when I launched it so terribly far off target when I had my chance, TC said to me, he said, hey, I'm sorry I didn't catch that. And I said, dude, nobody was going to catch that. Well, there you go. So you had a good time, and all family, extended family, 65, 70 people, great grandma, the whole works.
Yeah.
Did you guys
you
get
didn't lose anybody?
No, we didn't lose anyone at all.
How big of the crowd? How much of the crowd? What percentage of the crowd went to Seville Club after the game was over?
Oh, probably everyone.
Half. Oh, everyone.
No, but then it was also cool. Matt Wallner had a really good game, and he's from Forest Lake, and then he got the walk-off win.
was a-
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm from Forest Lake. He's
Oh.
from Forest Lake. Forest Lake just took over.
Who got the bigger pop out there, you or him?
Oh, he did.
Well, there's always next time.
Well, yeah, like Nick said, really glad you had a good time. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast. 7 hours, 8 hours at Target
Yeah,
Field.
that's a friggin' poke.
It was a poke.
That's a friggin' poke. I was wondering if maybe they'd just send your ass home, too. That was something that crossed my mind, where they might say, hey, look, you don't need to be standing around here thumbing yourself for 3 hours. We'll call you in September and get you out, something like that.
They did offer that, and I was like, I got like 65 people. It's going to be hard to reschedule that.
Well, you think they would have minded? You could have just walked up and said, Seville Club on me. And they would have like, yay, it's way more exciting than this. Sitting around in the rain waiting for my freaking great nephew to throw a baseball.
We waited 2 hours for 20 seconds.
Right. What a bunch of athletes we are.
Premier athletes.
Maybe we should put together a softball team now.
No, that sounds exhausting.
What? Nobody wants to join me and Wapples? Oh, Ashley, you're in?
Yeah.
All right, we got a catcher, a pitcher, and someone in the outfield. We're good.
That's all you friggin' need. All right, good times. I'm happy for you. What the hell's everybody doing come the middle of October? Any plans?
I do have plans. I've got something going on. I think you've got the same thing going on.
I think all 5 of us have the same thing going
that's
on.
what
No,
you're
you 3 aren't invited.
No.
Sweet.
That's what you're referencing.
Actually, Wapple, we want a famous athlete there. You're invited.
Yes. I'm in. I'll throw out a first pitch.
Here's the deal. If you ain't busy, you can come join us mid-October. We're going to head out to effing St. Croix Casino Turtle Lake again for a little get-together. We went there last year. It was a hell of a good time. And the folks at Turtle Lake want to cut her loose again. The Brotherhood Border Bash.
I like the risk they're taking because last year was so much fun. We probably should have just ended it to avoid any expectations that aren't met, disappointed people that come out and hang out with us. It was so good last time. I could see why you'd want to do it again, but I'm not a risk taker. I walk away. If I'm at a casino and I'm up, I'm out.
That's the first thing that crossed my mind, Josh, when I saw we were doing the Border Bash again. I said to myself, there's no way it's going to go as well as last year. This one's going to suck. God.
That's my fear, but I mean,
we might as well take a chance. And hopefully some people will take a chance on us.
Maybe a couple of repeats.
Yeah, you never know. Brotherhood Border Bash returning October 19th through the 21st at St. Croix Casino Turtle Lake. We had a great crowd last time. Hopefully we can get the same. It was just laid back and fun. Here's the schedule. You get there Thursday night. It says here, drinks with the half-ass morning show in the sports book. Sure. Everybody likes drinks. Friday
I'm going to
morning.
gamble this year in the sports book.
You're going to gamble?
I couldn't figure it out last year.
It is kind of difficult.
I'm hoping my stepson shows up because he knows how to do all that kind of stuff.
I made a few low-level bets
And
while
he knows,
we were hanging around.
He knows all the stats. He knows all that.
Okay.
Might do okay.
I'd like to see you win some money. Thursday night, a party in the sports book. Friday morning, feel free to skip this. Live broadcast of the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
I was almost mad at the people that showed up. Why would you get up early on a Friday morning when you stayed up? We were out with you Thursday night.
Our listeners should know something. If you folks had a show on Friday morning, I wouldn't come to see you. I would just come see you later. But if you want to, you can show up for our live broadcast Friday morning.
It's boring to watch.
It is boring.
And listen to.
Usually.
And we look horrible.
Yeah, we're not attractive people.
Well, I don't know. Again, there's a couple of us in this room that are attractive people.
I think I bring the heat every effing time.
And Wapple, you too. You're a professional athlete.
Oh, whoops. I forgot about that again.
Friday night, we'll have dinner again at the sports book. Like I said, it's just a laid-back get-together. We drink some cold ones. We have something or another to eat. Book your trip at 93x.com. You can find information up there already, I hope, or maybe it's kicking in later.
It's up there right now.
It's up there. Book your stinking trip. It's sponsored by MinnesotaFatLoss.com and Stittsworth Meats.
Those are your guys, right, Wapple?
Yes, Stittsworth. Amazing beef jerky.
Oh, my
best
God.
I've ever had.
That beef jerky made me believe in God. It was so good.
There are special room prices you can look into, courtesy of the folks at St. Croix Casino. it ought to be a hell of a deal. We did have a great time last year. God, I hope we can match it or even, what's the higher level, Josh, even exceed.
Yeah, let's hope so. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We never like doing anything like that.
No, we don't.
Live broadcasts are usually miserable.
Hate it.
But that one was fun.
Yes, it was.
We even said, why do we have to have a live broadcast? Why don't we just go up and hang out? Mm-hmm. And they said, you have to have a live broadcast.
I didn't like the sound of that at first, did I?
No.
No, but then in the end, we enjoyed it. You guys should see my room, too. Woo-wee.
Room? Singular? Weird, I had two.
You had two rooms. Man. The hot tub. This year, Cubby, we're getting in the hot tub.
I'm not getting in the hot tub.
You and I are getting in the hot tub.
So I did take a jacuzzi.
You did?
Oh,
Yeah,
so did
that's
I.
the second one I've ever had in my life.
Oh, see, I never got in the damn thing.
Oh, you did it?
No.
You missed out.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm not very good with the hot water and the sitting and the. It doesn't make me feel very good.
I didn't
only
stay in
do it
there
for a
very
little
long.
bit.
Huh?
Go ahead, sorry, Ashley.
I only do it for a little bit too.
Yeah, I can't
stay
do
there.
that.
I don't stay in there long.
Can we get in there? Should we make the water cold? We can play Titanic.
I did that. Lukewarm.
All right.
That's what I did.
You took a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
All by yourself. Were you in the nude?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Did you have a
No.
bath bomb?
No.
You're not normally
Lame.
comfortable when you're in the nude.
No, especially if I'm looking right at my body.
Yeah.
And that's like at least a shower, I can look straight ahead.
Did you just close your eyes?
Pretty much. I put a book in front of me.
Did you really read a book in the jacuzzi?
I did.
You're the cutest effing person in the whole world.
I tried it out. I had bought a townhouse. This must have been 2006. And it had a jacuzzi tub in there.
Nice.
And I thought, well, I haven't had a bath since I was a little kid. I'm going to give this a shot. I didn't use it one time. When my wife and kids moved in, they used it all the time. That was one of the selling features. Like, I got this. I put a TV above it, which I think is a violation of safety code.
Probably.
But I put a TV above it.
Cool.
Never used it.
Oh, dude, that sounds awesome.
Well, I'm telling you what. I mean, you never know. Maybe this year they won't give me the room with the hot tub, but if they do, we're all getting in the sumbitch. All of yous. Ooh, here's a text about St. Croix Casino, Turtle Lake. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about this. This listener says we got big shoes to fill. Cypress Hill was just there.
Really?
I'm going to go ahead right now and guarantee you we're not going to party as hard as Cypress Hill. Even if those guys are 60 now.
I don't want to. I
No.
can't handle something like that.
I would vomit if I partied as hard as Cypress Hill. I vomit right in the hot tub with all of you sitting in there with me.
No.
Oh, what if you get it on my book?
Josh, are you bringing your sound effects machine again?
Well, that was our engineer, Mike, but we loved those so much that Nick and I both bought one. We both have one at home.
Yeah, I still haven't hooked it up, for Christ's sake, because I'm a stupid idiot.
I was going to guess you haven't.
No, I don't know how to. You got to come over.
Yeah. Well, I can record commercials at home, Ashley.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Why don't you come over one of
Ask
these
me how
days?
many I've recorded at home.
How many?
Exactly 0. None. I use it as much as I do a jacuzzi.
A highlight of last year's broadcast was Josh, was presented with a brand new sound effects machine. And, I mean, I hope you have the same setup, because we can just sit there and listen to you play with that machine for hours, and we don't have to really make much of an effort.
That was fun last year.
And
Yeah.
then we have sound effects that we can put on the voices. And
Oh, yeah, those voiceover things.
isn't it crazy that we have these, I'd imagine, multi-million-dollar studios here.
Oh!
That at 40 years ago, no lie, a lot of this is 40-year-old equipment. It was pretty nice. But we could go up there, and for $600, we have a way better setup than we do right now.
Yeah.
Sad.
Brutal.
It is brutal. That's
So there-
what it costs, $600 to have a much better setup.
The Border Bash, they call it. So look into that on our website. We'd love to have you swing by and spend the weekend with us.
Yeah, again, October 19th through the 21st.
Couple folks
Thursday
have already.
through Saturday. Or wait, is the 21st to Saturday or Sunday? I already forgot.
That will be a Saturday.
Saturday.
Couple of folks are already texting in saying they'll be there. That's wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
So there you go. Oh! I gotta embarrass myself even further than I likely already have this morning. I gotta throw something your way. The rest of yous are, as I've complimented you on before, you're so good with the current television programming. You guys know everything that's going on with all the current series. You're always coming at me with Stranger Things this and Yellowstone that and Anarchy at the Motorbike Clubhouse. So what the hell's the name of that?
Sons of Anarchy.
You know all the current programming, and I love to listen to you go back and forth. I'm the guy, as you know, who pops off now and again about a television show or movie that's 10 to 15 years old that I'm just getting around to seeing. I just have to tell you, yesterday, when the Twins game wasn't happening, when the Twins game was in rain delay, and I'm waiting for, maybe I'll see Wapple on TV throw a baseball, maybe not. And then there's some scrolling that says the Twins are in a weather delay. Check back in a couple hours. So I had nothing to do. And I saw a sitcom on my television guide, and I said, what the F? I've seen this up on the screen before, but I've never given it a shot. I watched 4 episodes of this show yesterday, and I laughed my effing nuts off almost the whole way through. It's got to be 10 some odd years old. I'm sorry, I didn't exactly check how old this program was. And it's called Mike plus Molly. Mike and Molly.
That's so cute that you like that show.
Yeah, that is funny.
I laughed my friggin' nuts off the entire hour and a half, 2 hours. I'd never seen the show. How old is that show?
It ended in 2016.
Right, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Melissa
like
McCarthy.
That show.
And that's kind of what made her. When did Bridesmaids come out?
2010.
That's when this came out, too.
No, it was 2000. It was the same year.
I believe so.
Wow, that's that old?
The first thing I was going to say was there was a gal on there that looked a lot like Melissa McCarthy. You're saying that was Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah. I've never seen the show, but I know that she's really funny on it, or I've heard that.
The big dude who plays her husband, every character that I saw, I was belly laughing. It was almost like that Tim Allen show that I love so much. What's that called again?
Last Man Standing.
Last Man. It was almost like Last Man Standing.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yes.
I know you're on a roll here, but what is your favorite Last Man Standing episode?
Oh, the one. You know the one.
Well, just tell me one thing that happens in it.
Where the family goes to Hawaii to go surfing and they find that idol and everyone.
No. See, now you're thinking of the Brady Bunch.
Can we just talk about Mike and Molly?
Well, can I just ask you just one quick question, if you don't mind?
What?
About Last Man Standing.
Sure.
I mean, it's a simple question.
Yeah.
Starring, I forget. Who stars in that?
Marcus Allen.
No. Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Yeah. And his character name, for the life of me, I can't remember.
It's Ignacio.
No. As I'm sure you remember, Mike Baxter.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, Mike Baxter.
You remember that?
It's my favorite show.
I'd imagine you'll probably be doing commercials for your favorite show again at some point.
I can't wait. Mike and Molly. Again, sorry to blow up. I'm sure there's already a lot of texts coming in saying, hey, douchebag, that show's been over with for 10 years. I know. This is how I operate. I couldn't believe how much fun I was having with that show. Who's familiar with the show?
I am. Yep.
I know of it.
Same thing with
I used to
Josh.
watch it.
The dude with the really thick Chicago accent who's dating somebody's mother on the program. Does anyone know who that guy is? Because he should have won multiple awards. So there you go. I'm done. I just had to throw your way. I don't know what channel it was on even, but I'll find it again.
Well, I know your favorite channel, the CW. You were probably watching the CW.
Oh, absolutely. So there you go. CW, that's what it was on. All right, what else is going on around
I like that. It's kind of fun to relive some of this for other people who thought, gosh, I haven't watched that since it ended nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah, I might go home and watch this today.
Dude.
Well, I started an old show over the weekend, too. Josh turned me on to this. I mean, a lot of people in my life have told me I would love the show Scrubs. I've been told over and over again I need to watch
I think
Scrubs.
they thought of, let's come up with a show Dana would fall in love with.
And I absolutely did. And so people have been telling me for years I need to watch, including some of my best friends. And I got one buddy who listens to the show religiously, and he goes, I've been telling you to watch Scrubs for 15 years. Josh mentions it and backhanded, kind of like a sidebar on the radio, and you dive right in all of a sudden. Like, yeah, that's kind of how it worked.
And your thoughts?
Oh, I absolutely love it. It's fantastic.
Scrubs, you say?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And now I'm
going back to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, now I'm that person that's like, oh yeah, Scrubs is so great. They're like, yeah, man, we've seen it, But yeah, it came out.
It can be
20
brilliant.
years ago.
Been there, done that. I've watched it like twice.
It can be brilliant. It can be really weird at times, but it definitely can be brilliant.
The Janitor's my favorite, always.
People are telling me Gilmore Girls is where Melissa McCarthy's career started.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that yet.
Well,
Wasn't Sebastian Bach of Skid Row on Gilmore Girls?
I remember hearing something about it. He made an appearance.
Ask me about CrossFit. Jesus wants to know, Nick, if you've seen the new show called Bonanza. I get nervous making recommendations unless I know someone real well. But I got to tell you, I just finished watching Twisted Metal on Peacock, and I really liked that show.
Yes.
Did you finish it too, Wapple?
Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure by looking at the previews. But it was good. It was really funny. And I forget the woman's name, but she was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
the actress's name.
Martinez.
I think she might be one of my favorite actresses now. She is so funny in that show. It's way funnier than I thought it was going to be. Really violent.
Yes. Very violent.
But yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, and like I said last week, I like how they check back to characters that you were playable in the game. That was really cool. Like
I wish I played the game because I'm sure there's a ton of references I missed.
Yeah, like the chick Twister, with the Indy car. I always played her.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was badass.
Were you guys talking about Stephanie Beatriz, who plays Quiet?
Quiet, yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's cool. She's very funny in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Now, Only Poops While Punched In Jesus thinks that you'd love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Nick. I disagree.
Give me 10 years.
Simply because you do not like Charlie Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My boyfriend doesn't like him either because he doesn't like that he screams when he talks.
Is this still a current show, Philadelphia?
Yeah,
I love it. It's my favorite TV show.
All right, then I'll catch up with it in a decade or so. Charlie Day, I saw him in a couple of movies, and I kind of wanted to choke him to death. But I'll try it sometime. It'll be years down the road, I'm sure. But
that's one of those shows I get my balls busted about.
Because you've never watched it. Yeah.
It's so good.
Me too.
It's so messed up.
Me too.
Right now, a dark group of people.
I'm going to continue on this last man standing and Mike and Molly kick, and I'll go from there. When you're around 40, I'll come to you and talk about Almost Sunny in Philadelphia or whatever it's
Deal.
called.
Sounds good.
I'll come
be
at
waiting.
you. There you go. What a terrific crowd you are. And like I said, we are very excited for our guest this morning. Coming up around 8:30, Natalya from the WWE Raw is in town tonight at Target Center. I'm sure everyone will have a blast. Randy and Brad will jump in around 7:30. So we're loaded and locked and loaded and ready to go. Be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Hey, Minnesota. CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
You want to buy a car or a house, travel, retire? But it's getting harder to figure out what's the best way to spend and invest. Afford Anything is a podcast that teaches you how to be smart with your money.
Take the amount of money that you would make on that car payment, make that payment to yourself. That way, if you have to make a major repair, it can come out of that. And when you do go to buy your next car, who knows, maybe all 5 years worth of car payments have accumulated over that time.
Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
Moms are amazing at tracking down hard-to-find items. Library books, socks, you name it. But sometimes help is welcomed. Care.com makes it easy to find babysitters near you. Sitters with the experience and skills your family needs, like after-school pickup and homework help. You just post a job for qualified sitters to apply. And since all Care.com caregivers are background checked, you can feel confident about interviewing and hiring. To get the child care help you need, sign up now at Care.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, well, we're gonna kick this edition of the Stupid News in with another one of these sick-ass neighborhood pervert peckerheads that need to be neutered. In Rhode F Me Running Island, a 32-year-old puke bag who's been busted once already for breaking into houses to steal dildos. He's been caught acting squirrely again. This time he's been window peeping. A couple weeks ago, a 28-year-old gal called the cops after seeing a suspicious man outside her apartment. She was changing her baby's diaper when she saw this guy standing outside her daughter's bedroom window.
Gross.
Jesus
Creepy.
Christ almighty.
Which part, the peeping or the diaper?
I kind of say both, yeah.
She sees the guy standing outside looking in the window. When she spotted this derelict peering in on her baby, she screamed. And here's the best part. The dude ran, but then he stopped. And he ran back to the window, and he took one more quick peek, and then he ran.
Dude.
And this time he kept running. Kind of reminds me of that scene from Kingpin with Big Ern McCracken. When he meets everybody there at the salad bar, and he realizes, oh my God, there's Claudia. He used to bang Claudia, right? You know the scene I'm talking about?
I do.
Claudia, where he said something like, something about, forget it. But so they're there at the salad bar, and Ish, the big Amishman, kind of scares Big Ern, throws a punch at him, right? And Big Ern runs away, but then he runs back and says, Claudia, I'm in 337, and then he runs away again. You had to be there.
How many years has it been? One for every topping on the table.
Yeah, he makes some kind of comment about, blankety blankety blank when you've got incredible thighs or something like that. Time stands still. Yeah, forget it. But he runs away, then he runs back. Claudia, I'm in 337. And then he runs away. Police later identified this pervert guy. His name is Benjamin Nadrowski. When the cops got a chance to ask Benjamin about all this, window peeping, he had a couple of cute stories. Tell me what you think here, Josh. Number one, he says he wasn't window peeping. He was exercising.
His right to peep.
Something about how he was exercising near their window. He wasn't looking in. He was getting a workout.
Oh, just using their yard for a good workout. Normal.
Later on during questioning, he says he wasn't peeping. He was just smoking a cigarette. So he's got a couple of different spins on this. They arrested him. They charged him with disorderly conduct. But like I was telling you, the same dude was arrested earlier this summer for breaking into three houses and then going through bedrooms and snatching up as many sex toys as he could find, dildos and butt plugs and such. On that deal, he told the cops he was stealing the toys so he could give them out as birthday presents for his friends. He's a jovial guy. You know, he likes to...
Do you remember us talking about him?
No.
For that reason?
No.
Yeah. Because I was wondering, like, who of us would accept a used sex toy for a birthday? But then again, you know, that's kind of a thing for some people.
Yeah, I think some people like it that way.
This guy's funny. I have a feeling he might have sniffed his last pair of drawers for a while. I mean, I guess
hope so.
Unless he gets assigned to the laundry room in prison. But I think he's all done at this point. Guy I grew up with was a big window peeper.
How's he doing now?
Ooh-wee, Smashly. Not good. Not good. Let me just put it this way. Right now, he sits where he should be sitting.
Oh,
if you know what I mean. He's put himself in a certain giant building with others,
And like-minded individuals.
And that is exactly where he should be.
You know what I've noticed? Not in a perverted way, of course, by any means, but the kids in the neighborhood, when they come to the door, like ring the doorbell to hang out with my son, they stare in the windows, like just looking around, standing on tippy toes, peeking around.
Does anybody come in?
So I've had to tell them, hey, I hope you're not doing that when you go to their house. Just stand there and wait for someone to come to the door.
Why do they do that?
Just to see if someone's coming to the door, I guess.
Well, that's interesting. We used to just smooth walk up, rap on the door, and if someone answered, great. If not,
that's what I'm trying to teach my kid.
Yeah,
don't just stare in the windows.
No. It's kind of odd.
Cleaning face prints off that. I mean, they put it right up there.
Breathing onto the window.
Gross.
Maybe that's how it gets started. Nobody told them not to do that.
Could be. Now, I don't know about the rest of yous. I wouldn't know the mayor of my hometown, even if they stepped up and kicked me in the balls. But this here sounds like the type of mayor that I could party with in Dearborn Park, Michigan. Some selfish, classless ass dumped their garbage in the neighborhood park. The mayor found out about it, so he went over to the park, he picked up the trash, and he dumped it all right back onto the front step of the jag-off that dumped the trash in the first place. I like that move.
Reminiscent of an old boss where we told the story before where somebody brought in a dog, the dog pooped, the boss bagged up the poop and put it in his mailbox. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Here's that poop you decided to leave behind.
Yeah, first off, who said you could bring your friggin' dog into the building?
Yeah, I don't think he had permission.
No, secondly, the dog makes a massive, horrible deuce on the floor. I remember that stunk up 3/4 of the building. And the kid didn't clean it up, the kid who brought the dog in.
That's weird.
Well, because he was just an idiot. He was just, hey, look at my dog. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty sweet move on the boss's part. Bagged it up, put it in the kid's
That just fits that boss's personality so well.
Did it sit in the mailbox a while?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's technically the cubbies over there.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I never check my mailbox, so it would be up there for a couple months.
Well, there used to be people here. There was a ton of people here, and so, you'd walk through the front door and check it.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know what the correlation is there, but...
Oh, God, I haven't visited my personal mailbox in maybe a decade.
I check it every once in a while.
I appreciate that. I know that you regularly do. So I'm not sure how the mayor knew who dumped the trash. My guess is he found a bill or two linked back to a certain address, and he went from there. The mayor's name is Abdullah Hammond. And the trash dumping jag-off also got a $500 ticket for littering.
That is pretty funny. I think I'd appreciate the humor.
Yeah.
Well, I've told this story before, but we had a buddy of mine had a big party in high school. Parents were gone, over the weekend. They're out of town.
Copy.
So on Sunday morning, all right, party's over. You clean up all the trash, all the empties, all the pizza boxes, put it in bags. And, one guy who had the truck was like, I'll go get rid of these. We thought he was just going to go, toss in a fast food dumpster. He just threw it in the middle of a field. So... But Buddy's parents get home and everything looks fine. Everything's just, all good. And then all of a sudden they get a knock on the door. It's the cops. And they got all these trash bags. They open one up and they found a beer-stained Sports Illustrated with the address on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they got busted. That's how we got in trouble.
What did the cops do?
They gave him a littering ticket. And then...
the parents stepped in.
The parents were just like, "Hey, this is not our trash. We were no idea." And they're like, "Oh,
we went to Chicago for the weekend, and little Donnie threw a kegger."
Yep.
Yeah, there was a fast food joint down the street from my neighborhood. We always picked on them. Their dumpsters would get all of our beer bottles and whatnot. Douchebag move, but we were 16.
Exactly.
This mayor, who pulled this badass move and brought all the trash back and set it on the front step. He said, I was pulled away from dinner with my family because a resident dumped their garbage at the park. Apparently, this is a nightly habit. This is unacceptable. This invites rats. This is disrespectful to the whole neighborhood. They interrupted the mayor's dinner. That would get me pissed, by God. Dinner's one of the few joys I have left in my miserable life. You F that up, I'll come uncorked. A couple days before, the mayor had to up and fetch trash out the park. He was on Facebook talking about how some messy folks in town are pissing him off. He said residents are not cleaning up after themselves. He called them lazy. He called them disrespectful. Go ahead, Mayor, light a fire, I should say, a fight. Under these effing slobs.
A former neighbor of mine, twice, some kids down the block, teenagers, dumped all their garbage on his lawn, and he couldn't figure it out. That was the best, seeing his face. Like, what did I do? Why? I think it stems from just one time he had asked a kid, no big deal, please don't park half your vehicle on my grass if you don't mind. And this guy was very into his grass. I learned about fescues and the different type of fescues you could have in your lawn. Never heard the word even before.
He's one of those guys that's obsessed with his lawn?
Oh, yeah, big time.
That's annoying.
He's really into his lawn. And so, he guesses that's what it stemmed from, but he said he was super polite about it. He said, hey, I understand, but can you, if you don't mind not parking half your vehicle on my lawn?
You ever do any TPing or egging and then you got in trouble and had to go clean it up?
TPing. Yeah, we didn't get in trouble. I would say the most elaborate thing we ever did was a friend of mine worked at a movie theater, and he had bagged up old popcorn for probably a week, and we had been searching the paper for free appliances, and we set up a kitchen in his girlfriend's front yard and then poured popcorn all over the place. And we didn't realize the popcorn was a pain in the ass. We didn't think about it too much, and the dad wasn't happy about that. He thought the appliances was kind of funny, but he didn't think the popcorn was funny at all.
Dude, that's really funny, though. I love that.
Yeah, this was a long game, right? Waiting to find some of these things. And
like, if I was her and I walked out of my house and saw that, I had nothing but respect.
Yeah, I think it was confusion at first.
Oh, totally.
And then the dad had a sense of humor about that, but the popcorn, not so much.
I could tell you a bunch of stories about a buddy who loved to decorate my front yard, usually with dummies. He would create dummies like mannequins. One morning I woke up and there was a mannequin sitting in a chair watching television in my front yard. Just the oddest stuff. One morning there was, and this one was very realistic, to where I got a phone call. He made it look as if someone had crashed their bicycle into a tree in my front yard. It looked like somebody was unconscious after crashing their... I got a phone call from a lady down the road. Is everything okay? Who's that in your front yard? I said, it's a friggin' mannequin. I got a buddy who smokes too much weed and has too much friggin' free time. But I had a great prank played on me when I lived in Rogers, where my neighbors took packing peanuts and covered my yard perfectly to make it. I went out of town, maybe you and I, Josh, going out of town like we used to when we were young. When I came home, they made it appear that it was in the summer. They made it appear as if only my property had been snowed on.
That's funny.
And they set up Christmas lights, Merry Christmas, and set up, this was in August, it was brilliant. But one time, a buddy of ours really got me when we TP'd his house. Really got me. We were near 40. And we got drunk one night and TP'd. Oh, it was Curtis's house. We TP'd Curtis's house. Just because we were drunk and stupid and we're 40, but we're going to go TPing. Stupid. But we did it. The next morning, we used to always meet for breakfast at the same bar. And so the next morning I walk in for breakfast and, it didn't take Curtis too long to figure out who had done it. I think he was home that night. We were out drinking. I think we were taunting him a lot over the phone about how he was not out drinking with us. So when I walked into breakfast, Curtis goes, yeah, real funny. TP'd my house last night. And I said, yeah, sorry, we had too many beers. And he said, yeah, it was all fun and games until my wife, was up on a ladder trying to clean some of the TP out the trees and she fell and broke her arm.
Jeez.
And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he said, gotcha, you prick. He got it. I believed awesome. It. He kept the straight. I thought, oh, Jesus balls, our idiotic behavior has finally mangled somebody.
A friend of mine, his son played hockey in high school, and some of the other hockey players, they were out egging their teammates' houses. And it was funny. I happened to be there. The cops came out, right? And I happened to be there. One of the cops is like, all right, this is what happened. He broke it down. They were standing right here. You can see a couple of eggs that they were holding on too tight. They figured it out. He's like, I'm going to guess there were some weaker ones. Those are the lower shots. He went through the whole... It was like I was watching an episode of CSI, the Egg Edition.
He'd seen it enough times he could play out exactly what happened.
Yeah, and it was funny because he'd say, I forgot this part. He'd say, all right, so they were holding it too tight. That's why, Chris, not that I've ever done it. So then we were standing, he's trying to stand over here. Not that I've ever done it.
Yeah, we got egged once. It was not cool. It was a sellout egging. We got sold out by two of our bros. My brother and I acted pretty poorly at a high school party. We drank up all the beer and started trouble, my brother and I. And then like a week and a half later, we wake up one morning and our garage had been egged. And we were kind of confused. And who the hell would egg us? I mean, we're cool, right? You egg the dorks. You don't egg cool kids, right? So we were like, who would egg us? We're like two of the coolest guys. We found out that the party where we were acting up, there was a gal who lived there, and her best friend were pissed at my brother and I. Two of our buddies, see if you can follow this, two of our buddies had a crush on those two girls, wanted to throw them down. Those two girls, used their sex appeal until our two buddies told them where we lived. Do you see how that played out?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so when we found that out, we approached our two buddies and we said, you told those two chicks where we live so they could egg us? I thought we were bros. And they're like, dude, they're hot. What were we going to do, man? We're trying to get some, that whole scene. They sold us out.
That happens a lot, doesn't it?
Where you think that it's bros before hoes, but that's really never been the case?
As soon as they think, I might have an in here,
yeah,
they'll sell anybody out.
They sold us out. All right, here's how you do it right here. Listen closely. You go out and you commit hundreds of burglaries. Go out on the town, you commit hundreds of burglaries. You steal millions of dollars worth of this and that. You do this over a long stretch of time, and you get away with it. But you just can't resist how cute you look when posing for pictures with the stolen goods, and you desperately want to be known all over town for how cool you are. So you take the pictures and you post the pictures on law enforcement's best friend, stupid social media. And the next thing you know, you're humping your hand while trying not to wake up your cellmate in prison. Put these jabronis on your dumbest bastards to ever live top 10 list.
Those stories are great.
Mm-hmm.
Back to that egg story, the cop did say, we'll figure it out. They'll post it on social media, and that's exactly what happened.
This brain-dead group of 6 crooks, well, they can't be completely brain-dead because they had it cooking for a while. These dudes were connected to 200-plus burglaries out there in New York. They stole more than $3 million worth of cars, cell phones, cash money from ATMs and whatnot. But because they just had to show everybody how cute they were, it's all over.
They looked like douchebags.
Yeah, they did. The cops said many of the social media posts occurred just minutes after the crimes, allowing investigators to connect the stolen property seen in the post to specific burglaries and the criminals themselves. They posed inside of the vehicles they had just stolen while fanning out large cash amounts that they had just swiped, like someone was going to put them on an album cover or something.
Douchey.
I mean, these idiots were on a friggin' roll. The only thing that was going to stop them was themselves, and they did just that.
It is kind of fun when idiots self-own themselves.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Word is, after they'd commit a robbery, this part is interesting. After they'd commit a robbery, they would often wait for police to respond so they could then get into a high-speed chase.
They like the thrill.
That sounds like a good way to kill dozens of innocent people right there.
Yep.
All 6 of these knuckleheads are off to prison now. And from what I hear, there's nothing but laughs and excitement there, so they'll fit right in. You should see the pictures. It'll make your stomach hurt. Douchebag kickback in a stolen car. Check it out. Douchebag with, $15,000 in his hand. Check this out.
Gross.
Even if they were completely innocent of any crime, they look like douchebags.
Yeah, you're right. The Hamptons. I think I've heard that said out loud a time or two. Isn't that some kind of hip vacation spot for trust fund babies who are all grown up now over on the East Coast?
Yeah, you got to be pretty loaded from what I hear.
The rich people all have vacation homes in the Hamptons.
Well, I guess the rich kids got to have some fun, right? They got to have fun, too. The story here says that a couple of teenage kids dumped a 20-pound striped bass off the roof of a fancy restaurant down onto the rich big shots who were trying to eat dinner.
Jeez.
Just crash of 20. The joint is called Le Biloquet Restaurant. And I understand that when this big fat dead fish crashed down onto the dinner tables, folks were thrown into a friggin' complete panic. Glasses and plates were flying.
That would freak me out.
Yeah, I'd be concerned.
Did this fall from the sky?
Well, and it's pretty close to the water. Did it jump?
Medics got called, though. A woman was cut and bleeding. That's not good.
No.
Apparently no arrests have been made, but the restaurant staff has an idea who these punks might be. You know who I'm picturing? Those 2 rich kids from that awesome horror movie. God help us, I can't think of the name. 2 rich kids invade a house. It's just horrible. Horrible story. Bad ideas.
Bad intentions?
No, somebody text me. The 2 rich kids who bother the family, and then the rest of it is just absolutely horrible. But it's enjoyable as hell, the movie. They'll get back to me, 651-989-9393. It all starts with a golf ball and a golf club. We'll get there.
Funny games?
Funny games, bingo.
Oh, okay.
Dude, if you like dark movies, that is one of the best of all time. None of yours funny games?
No, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Dude! It's like the Mike and Molly of dark movies. It's friggin' awesome. If you're just tuning in, I watched Mike and Molly for the first time yesterday, and I friggin' loved it. I'm going to watch it as many chances as I get. This place is wild, though, this Le Biloquet fancy restaurant in the Hamptons. A couple weeks ago, Josh, it says here 2 dudes in their 60s got into a fist fight at that bar.
Yeah, it was bad.
Dang.
And
was
they got thrown out the bar.
Yeah, like a really bloody fight.
Oh! If this means anything to you, the story says that Jeff Bezos eats his meals at this joint from time to time. Remind me what he's famous for?
Amazon.
Beef Queefington Jesus texted the show. Did you guys know that I got a text from Beef Queefington Jesus?
No.
Top of the morning.
It just happened. What does that mean, top of the morning?
Hello.
Oh,
Just a greeting.
Oh, I thought that there was something specific going on between you and Beef Queefington Jesus.
No, he just sounds distinguished.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Hello, sir. He says that Funny Games, the movie, effed him up for weeks. Yeah, it's the type of movie that'll F you up. Here's a picture you ought to see. I don't care who you are. This played out like something you might see in a movie starring Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy. A scene out of Memphis, Tennessee, where Jerry Lawler hasn't had to buy a beer since 1974, I guarantee you. Instead of picking up a dead raccoon off the side of the road, the lazy-ass City of Memphis road crew, who were out painting solid street lines, just painted smooth over this poor little dead raccoon.
Aw, poor guy.
Yeah. Somebody out driving in Memphis spotted this sad-ass scene and took a picture, and then he donated it to social media, of course. The dude said the paint job looked pretty fresh. The raccoon did not.
I wonder how, easy it is to do something like that. Meaning, if it was a simple mistake, or they just thought, I don't want to get out of the vehicle.
Yeah, I know a couple guys who have done that for a living. They sit on the back of the truck and hit the paint button, and it sprays out the lines. You see where I'm going with all this?
It's impressive to me.
But I don't know, Josh, the answer to that question, how easy or difficult it would be to paint a dead raccoon in the street as you go by. People started busting the city's chops about how sad-looking this picture is. And a spokesperson for the city of Memphis said, yeah, we'll get out there and pick the thing up. Right after we take our mandatory break, we'll be out there. City workers, Wapple always says. That's how he says it.
Yeah, and then the whole crew's going to have to go back out there and repaint the spot where the raccoon was.
They can do it. It's always impressive. How do they put it in the perfect spot? And it's always perfect lines.
Wapple always says, city workers don't do jack squat.
Yep, always have.
I've heard him say it.
They just lean on shovels.
651-989-9393 if you'd like to send a text to a specific person on the show. Start your text with Wapple.
An all-time great gimmick. They never completely die. In a place called Marin County, California, a cop had to go ahead and bust a driver for doing the mannequin passenger carpool lane bit.
Oh.
This is one of the all-timers. In this case, the mannequin was sitting in the back seat. And the picture is cute. This particular mannequin has a big old hat on his head, sunglasses, a very hip-looking mustache and goatee combo. And the mannequin also appears to be all sleeved out with tattoos.
Yeah, he's completely covered in tattoos.
This reference might be lost on some of you, but Josh, it looks to me like this mannequin was modeled after world-famous guitar player Dave Navarro.
Oh, I could see that, sure.
But then again, maybe you had to be there. Back in February 2021, this bit just keeps going and going. A California man was cited for using a mannequin as a passenger in his Toyota Tacoma so he could use the carpool lane. According to the local news, the mannequin had gray hair, wrinkles, glasses, and a face mask.
Wow, really going for it.
Well, that must have been, during the COVID times.
Yeah, it was a COVID mask.
That's perfect, The cop.
It looked decent.
Yeah, I bet. And it says here it fooled the cops for quite a stretch of time. $400 fine if you do this.
Ooh.
Tell me that would be something that you would assume was a real person if you're driving by.
Josh is showing me a photo of the second example I read for you. The older gentleman, baseball cap, glasses, and a face mask. There's no way I would think that was a mannequin. Although he does have very narrow shoulders for it. But other than that, that's a great bit, great scam. All right. You're a great crowd.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Peyton realized, hey, the deal's there. Elway thinks it's fair. Everybody thinks it's fair, but it's not going to happen unless Joe does something very drastic. But it was just a matter of, hey, Joe, I think you should go up to your GM's office and make a stink. Literally, I want you to go up there, pull your pants down, and make a stink on his desk, because that's the only way Cleveland is going to trade you. That's the only way you're going to be able to get out of town. And hey, by the way, buddy, you're my drinking buddy from the Pro Bowl, and I think we could win a Super Bowl this year. And you know what? He ended up winning the Super Bowl that year, so he wasn't wrong about the team that they had.
That was the voice of Joe Thomas, big cement head offensive lineman for many years in the NFL. I think he went into the Hall of Fame this weekend, but I can't be sure. Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. He did. He was telling a story there. So Joe Thomas was playing for the Cleveland Browns. They're terrible. His buddy Peyton Manning at the time was quarterbacking the Denver Broncos. They're terrific. There was rumors going around the Broncos were going to make a trade for Joe Thomas, drag him out of that miserable situation in Cleveland, bring him over to the Broncos. They'll go to the playoffs. They'll have a wonderful time, possibly win the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning gave Joe some advice during this time period where Thomas might be traded. And Peyton Manning said, if you really want out of Cleveland, walk into the boss's office, take a dump on his desk.
Oh, the old Cleveland steamer.
That easy.
That'll force a trade. They'll have to get rid of. He never. Did he? He didn't take a dump on the boss's desk.
It didn't sound like it.
I feel like we would have heard about that.
Yeah, he never was traded. He stayed in Cleveland. Speaking of, how should I say this? Fecal things.
Yeah.
I don't have time to tell this story now, but coming up at 7:30 when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder join us, I'm going to tell you a story about, a lot of diarrhea. I doubt any of us have ever encountered this much diarrhea. Josh, you probably agree.
It's the most I'd ever heard of.
Okay. That'll be coming up at 7:30. For now, not a bad way to sweep a series at Target Field, huh?
Yeah, that was fun.
Twins were down 1 going into the bottom of the 9th. First, the Strudel. He goes upper tank. He ties the pig, and then the local kid, Matt Wallner. Wallner? Wallner. 2-run dong. Walks her off. Twins beat the Diamondbacks 5-3. And sweep the series. Next up, they're in Detroit for 4 days.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ. Pablo Lopez tonight. Pitches. Game starts at 5:40 on Bally Sports North with Dick Bramer and the gang. 1st to 4 with Detroit. We'll talk all about it in a half hour. Josh's News is coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Hey, Minnesota. CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep. Going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Next time, man, understand, when you steal from a fish store, they're used to looking for stuff that's fishy.
That's right. Police arrested 2 people caught on surveillance video stealing a fish from a pond store in Bloomington. Police said on July 27th, officers responded to a business for a reported theft after a man entered the store at about 10:50 p.m. and then left with a $2,500 koi fish.
The koi fish here is worth $2,500. You can't steal a $2,500 fish and expect not to go to jail.
Surveillance cameras show a 66-year-old Richfield man attempting to put the fish into a pickup truck, which was being driven by his 46-year-old female accomplice from Bloomington. While the man carried the koi fish under his arm, it slapped him in the back with its fin as he tried to put it in his pickup.
It hit him in the face?
In his back.
Oh.
Yeah. Police tracked down the duo, both arrested on burglary charges. Police said if they hadn't found the koi, it wouldn't have survived the condition it was in. It's unclear what the man planned to do with the fish or if any charges have been filed.
What the hell's the matter with that guy? Why are you stealing a fish?
It's expensive.
And who was Mr. Smooth there talking about it?
Oh, you're not ready for it. He's hilarious. This is the Bloomington police chief. He's like Florida Sheriff funny.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for his name?
Go ahead, yeah.
Booker Hodges.
Cool.
Dude. It's pretty sexy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Also in Bloomington, police said there will soon be equipped with stop sticks which shoot straight out of their squads. It's called Mobile Spike, and it works like stop sticks, except the device is attached to the front of the squad car and shoots out like a sword with the push of a button.
It's like Mario Kart, right? I mean, you basically pull up next to the car, push the button, it goes under the tire, they drive over it, and it deflates.
Booker Hodges. The department is the first in the Midwest to deploy the new technology aimed at ending police pursuits quickly and safely. Bloomington police said they've seen a significant increase in pursuits. As recent as 2018, the department would see about 20 a year. That number skyrocketed last year to 115.
Oh.
Mobile spike also serves as an alternative to pit maneuvers, which has the potential to put more people at risk and look like they're a lot of fun. The device, which has been installed on 3 BPD squads so far, will be within use in about the next couple weeks.
Those sound sick.
Well, yeah, how long
cool.
before citizens are using this item at the Chick-fil-A drive-thru on each other? You know what I mean?
Not soon enough, as long as I have one and no one else.
Spike shooting out the car and it hits the tires and you're done. Is that the idea?
That's the gist. It slows down the vehicle as it slowly deflates your tires.
I'll be damned.
If your hands aren't on the wheel and your eyes aren't on the road, be prepared to be pulled over by a black Ford F-150. The pickup, shared by several departments in the South Metro, is equipped with 4 cameras on each side so officers can see if drivers are on their phones while driving.
It just reinforces what the officer observed, and it makes for very powerful evidence when it goes into court. It's kind of hard to deny you were on the phone when we have a film of you on the phone.
That's true. There's also multiple license plate readers and standard radars, as well as computers in both the front and back seats, so multiple officers can be inside the car monitoring. Plus, it's lifted, which is awesome, allowing officers to see from higher vantage points. As it's shared between multiple departments, you might see the pickup bearing a magnetic seal for Richfield, Eden Prairie, Airport, or Edina Police. However, some departments have decided it's so cool, they're going to buy their own. The hands-free law for distracted driving went into effect in 2019, but according to the Department of Public Safety, more than 32,000 crashes were related to distracted driving from 2018 to last year.
The F-150, you say?
Yep.
You used to have a beautiful F-150, Josh.
I did, thank you.
You know who drives one?
Beautiful.
You know who else drives one?
Who's that?
My dad.
Does he?
And I doubt those are the only 2 that were sold.
I think it's a popular vehicle.
Yeah.
A Hillsborough County, Florida Sheriff's Office sergeant was arrested after an argument over a parking spot. 52-year-old Sergeant Brendan Fitzgerald was part of a large group of people involved in a fight over 2 handicapped accessible parking spots at a private condo. Fitzgerald told police another man struck him during the argument and he wanted to press charges. The man told police Fitzgerald had struck him first and he planned to press charges too. More than a dozen people who either participated in the argument or witnessed it gave statements to police. The only person who refused to cooperate was Fitzgerald. He refused to identify himself and quickly alternated between being calm and aggressive. And he kept stating he was a Hillsborough Sheriff's Sergeant and told one of the responding officers he should take note of that.
Okay.
I'm a sergeant. I know the law, kid. I'm not identifying, Fitzgerald told police. When he was told he was going to be arrested for knowingly and willfully obstructing an investigation, Fitzgerald responded by saying, "This is a joke. You're a joke. You can't take me for obstruction. Learn your laws, boy."
Man, you better do some research, son.
Turns out maybe it was Fitzgerald who was a little fuzzy on the law as he was arrested and placed on administrative leave.
Better do your research.
I know the law. Wait, I don't know the law? Oh, no. Really? That's the law? Last month, a 37-year-old man was kicked out of a bar in West Palm Beach for being too intoxicated, but quickly returned wielding a firearm.
That's not good.
And a belt. When deputies arrived July 23rd about 2 a.m., the 45-year-old bar owner identified Fabio Sanchez as the suspect. He told deputies Sanchez was too drunk and harassing other customers, so they asked him to leave. He did, but he came back with a firearm, pointed it directly at the bar owner, and said, "I will shoot you." And that's when the belt came out.
The owner told Palm Beach County Sheriff's Deputy Sanchez was harassing customers and pointed a gun at him, threatening to shoot him. The owner says Sanchez then took off his belt, hitting him multiple times.
A security guard began fighting with the suspect while the owner called 911. The bar owner had an injury to his finger from Sanchez's attack belt. The suspect ended up with scrapes and bruises on his face, but the security guard came out unscathed.
That's frightening.
Between a gun and a belt, I guess I would prefer to get the belt.
Ditto. A Wisconsin teenager has been charged with triggering a bonfire explosion in October, which injured more than a dozen people.
Christ, that sounds like Wisconsin.
The now 18-year-old was attending a bonfire with other teens when he threw a barrel containing a gasoline diesel mix into the fire.
I got a buddy like that who's always got to throw something into the fire.
Yep.
We're going to stop inviting him, I think.
I have a buddy that soaks logs in gasoline and then starts the fire.
It sparked an explosion which burned at least 17 people. The teen, who was 17 at the time, later told police he didn't know his actions would cause an explosion and injure everyone. Last Thursday, prosecutors charged him with 13 counts.
We're happy that something is finally being done.
I think it was fair what he got. I mean, everyone's so young.
A 16-year-old accused of helping him with the barrel was ordered to perform community service. A man fell into an enclosure at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium in Ohio Thursday. The zoo said at about noon the man fell 12 to 15 feet off a protective handrail near the watering hole in the Heart of Africa section during a cheetah presentation.
Oh, man, you don't want to, not in the middle of the cheetahs. You don't want to, oh, no.
At the beginning of the presentation, a zoo employee noticed a teen in a tree behind the safety barrier. It was after the employee asked the teen to get out of the tree that the man fell somehow. Across the safety barrier was Adrian, a 3-year-old female cheetah. The zoo said Adrian took notice of the man but stayed with her trainer and was immediately secured.
Ooh-wee.
The man didn't appear to have any serious injuries or broken bones. Yeah, cheetah left him alone. Lucky for him.
That's nice.
I'm not playing cards against that guy. He's pretty lucky.
Yeah, never play cards against a cheetah either.
No.
Authorities say a New York man who stole about $2,000 from an Edina retailer using sleight of hand has ties to a Romanian organized crime group. You don't hear that too often. Charging documents say officers responded to a theft from an Apple store at Southdale last Tuesday. According to the criminal complaint, the 25-year-old suspect took out a large amount of cash from his pocket to pay for a MacBook and AirPods. He counted it in front of the cashier, who then counted it along with the store manager. The cash totaled about $3,600. Before the employee could place the money in the drawer, the suspect allegedly made direct eye contact with the employee and covertly removed about $1,900 from the stack while talking.
They count out cash right where the cashier can see it. And they're counting it out, and then they pull it all together, and they ask the clerk, what was the total amount that I have? And in the moment the clerk turns their head to look at the screen, what they're doing is palming a substantial amount of the cash.
Authorities say the man's associated with a Romanian organized theft ring operating in the Twin Cities and around the country. They've gained a reputation for using sleight of hand or quick change removal of cash while distracting the employee. After paying for merchandise with a smaller amount of cash, they later returned the merchandise for full value.
That's pretty slick, huh?
2 weeks ago, police arrested a 24-year-old woman for stealing thousands of dollars from Twin Cities retailers using sleight of hand. It's believed she also belongs to that same Romanian crime group.
Romanian crime group. Promised myself a long time I'd never cross those people.
I wouldn't.
No.
A Connecticut man was given nearly $300,000 in fraudulent Home Depot credit by walking into stores in several states, taking expensive doors, and then returning them without a receipt. Federal prosecutors allege 26-year-old Alexandre Costamata dressed to appear as a contractor, entering stores empty-handed. He would then load a door or several doors worth hundreds of dollars onto a lumber cart, take them to the service department, and return them without a receipt. Prosecutors said he was given store credit that he later redeemed at other stores. If the return was denied, no problem. He'd just take the doors without paying and return them at a different store. Home Depot stores in Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey were all victims of his scam, and police believe he was given about 370 fraudulent store credits in all, again, adding up to about $300,000. Prosecutors expect this door theft scam will be an open and shut case.
Son of a bitch.
A Minnesota Sheriff's Office is requesting help solving a string of thefts at the county fair earlier this week. Deputies received a report Thursday afternoon from a vendor at the Benton County Fair that several bags of pasta had been stolen from their booth, sometime between August 3rd and the night before. While investigating the pasta theft, deputies learned 2 other vendors also had break-ins during that same time. You Betcha Minnesota Grill reported its building was broken into and some of its equipment had been damaged, but nothing was reported stolen. However, the thief stole cash from the Made Right building. The sheriff's office didn't say if all 3 incidents were committed by the same person or how many people may have been involved.
Some kind of a pasta caper.
Yeah, they stole the pasta.
I don't know. In Benton County.
Yeah.
Anyone got any towns in mind where these sleaze bags might have come from. I'm going to go Royalton.
No, not Royalton.
That's right. I'm putting the finger on Royalton.
Not Royalton. No way, Royalton. You're crazy, man.
All right, fine. Foley. Effing Foley. It's got to be them.
Yeah,
You cool if I light up Foley?
I think that's fair.
All right.
I think even people at Foley would be shaking their heads going, yeah, he's got a point.
Why are you so sensitive about Royalton, the antique shop?
Yeah, I love that place. Treasure City? You guys don't love Treasure City?
I've never been there.
I've been in there, yeah.
Been there many times. I got no problem with Treasure City. I'm just saying the folks that live there, they're on my list.
No, I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be. A suspected bike thief in California was seen pausing his alleged crime to pet and cuddle with the victim's golden retriever. In a rather peculiar turn of events, as the suspect was about to make his escape, he paused to pet the household dog who had entered the garage, the San Diego Police Department said.
Sometimes you can't help it, right?
Dude, this dog is cute, too.
Yeah, the dog is super cute, and this guy, I believe, was really hammered. An unidentified male entered a garage at a home in San Diego's Pacific Beach neighborhood about 10:40 p.m. July 15th. Reportedly, he was going to steal a pricey bicycle, estimated to cost about $1,300. This isn't your average bike. It's distinct, featuring 8-ball caps on the tire valve, an 8-ball logo on the frame, and a rear wheel frame marked with a checkered black and white pattern, the police department said.
Man.
But as the suspect was about to leave with the stolen bike, the household dog appeared in the garage, stopping the suspect in his tracks. Surveillance footage of the home shows the suspect pulling the bike back into the garage and turning his attention to the friendly dog with pets and belly rubs.
Because you're so cool. Come here. Because you're the coolest dog I've ever known. I love you too. Where's your dad? Where's your dad? No, no, leave your garage open. Dad! Where are you? I love you too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was high or drunk.
That dude's
Even his
cool.
body language.
I love you too.
Even his body language said, I'm hammered. The suspect then carried on with stealing that bike.
Yeah, and when you're drunk, too, you're more apt to hang out with the house party dog for, I don't know, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. One of my buddies got just hammered at one of my house parties a number of years ago. And at the time, I had my folks' golden retriever at the house. What the hell was her name? Oh, no, she was a yellow lab, Sarah. And my buddy is lying on my driveway spooning this yellow lab. Just drunk off his head. And, of course, she's not going anywhere. He's scratching her and just, for probably about 45 minutes. His girlfriend walks up and says, are you two going to get a room?
Random dog fact. The world's first breast implants were given to a dog named Esmeralda in Texas in 1962. As a test to see if they work. Obviously, they did.
Is that right?
So doctors started giving them to people.
Tested them out on a... Huh?
Hot stuff.
Yeah, all these hot dogs.
That turns you on a little bit over there? A dog with boobs.
Just announced the Brotherhood Border Bash is back. October 19th through the 21st, we'll be having this party once again. St. Croix Casino, Turtle Lake. On Thursday, there's drinks with the morning show and the book. That's the sports book there. Then Friday, a live broadcast of the Half-Assed Morning Show. Skip that one. Friday night, feast with the Half-Assed Morning Show in the book as well. You can book your trip with info at 93x.com. Sponsored by MinnesotaFatLoss.com and Stittsworth Meats. Special room prices courtesy of St. Croix Casino. Looking forward to that again. That was
I think it's going to be a good crowd, Cubby.
Yeah, it was fun last year. We got a few people texting saying they're ready to book. So hopefully more people can join us. Charlize Theron is 48 today.
Oh, my goodness.
She's attractive.
Is she going to be at the Brotherhood Border Bash?
I don't know. She's got an invite. I just read that her stunt woman, right, her stunt double.
Sure.
Just married, Chris Hemsworth's stunt double.
That is so cute.
That's cute.
Love that.
Before you continue, let's pretend like we're inviting all of today's celebrity birthdays to the Border Bash, and then we can comment on whether or not we think we would benefit or...
it's a good one.
Oh, who else?
Oh, man, you're going to be excited.
Who else is coming to the Border Bash? Well, at least we're going to invite them.
David Duchovny of The X-Files, one of my all-time favorite shows.
Oh, you're happy.
Yeah, you would be...
Yeah, I'd be ecstatic.
I don't think you'd ever sleep.
Ecstatic.
You stay up all night talking to David Duchovny about The X-Files.
You guys would be in that jacuzzi together.
Maybe.
Don't do that to me. I got to work, dude. I can't be thinking about that. The X-Files recently named on a list of shows we'd like to erase from our memory so we could rewatch them fresh.
Oh. Is that a fact?
Yeah, 63 years old today. And professional pilot, proficient fencer, legendary frontman, Iron Maiden singer Bruce Dickinson, 65. We just invited him to the Border Bash, didn't we?
Wow, that would be off the charts. I'd never want it to end.
Me neither. We have to go longer than just a weekend. But he's got shows to dominate and things like that.
He'd add a little class to Turtle Lake with that English accent. You know what I mean? Wouldn't he?
He would.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday to DC1 USN Jesus, taking his mom to Des Moines for a knee replacement. Happy 10th to Cora, 32nd to the dirty friggin' Swede Jesus, and happy birthday to Finish's halfway in Jesus.
Oh, no.
And that, what?
God, yeah.
What?
I don't know. I don't.
He made it halfway. It's better than nothing. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
Got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Here come the benches. Off we go. It started with Anderson and Ramirez. Swings being taken. Kopech had to hold him back. And everybody's spilling out here in Cleveland.
Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson. Ramirez went in with a head-first slide. Hosey never gets upset about anything. They came up chewing. Anderson squared off. Hosey decked him. It's a 5-1 Chicago lead, but everybody from the dugouts and the bullpens congregated around second base. You never see Jose Ramirez get upset like that. And Tim Anderson was on the wrong side of that punch.
I think he's been disrespecting the game for a while. As soon as the play happened, he tagged me again really hard, more than needed, and then he just gave reactions like he said, I want to fight.
Oh, man. Yeah, we actually had a real fist fight on a big league baseball field. We don't get to see too many of those. Where are the boys? Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What a hell of a nice deal here. Everybody's here. We finally got to see, if even just briefly, baseball players actually square up and throw some punches, as opposed to the group hug nonsense that comes about whenever there's any kind of a dust-up in Major League Baseball. That was fun.
That was fun. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Nolan Ryan giving the noogie to Robin Ventura of the White Sox years ago.
Or maybe Roofnet Odor and Jose Batista.
Mm-hmm. This was a little bit longer, though.
Well,
this went on a while.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I mean, Anderson went down pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's friggin' Kopech, the pitcher for the White Sox, is pulling at Ramirez. Obviously, these guys don't watch a lot of hockey. You never want to be the third man in. That's not how you do it. Kopech is grabbing at Ramirez. Get your friggin' hands off. They're squared off one-on-one. Let them go. It didn't last as long as it should have. Tim Anderson, he went night-night there for a minute.
He did, yes.
Yeah, he didn't know what day it was. It's funny how many people were saying it was better than the Jake Paul-Nate Diaz fight over the weekend.
Was that not a great fight?
I guess not.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But
watching him wobble off the field was pretty funny too.
Yeah.
He was on friggin' roller skates.
Well, he looked like he had it together for a second, and then all of a sudden he did not have it together.
How's he doing? Was he diagnosed with one of those concussions or anything?
I haven't seen it. He's pretty active on Twitter, or X now. He was pretty active on social media.
He sent some bizarre messages on social media, and we'll get to that as well. But this was Saturday night. Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Guardians and Tim Anderson of the Chicago White Sox squared off. I mean, they even got into that fighter's pose. They had time to kind of say, put him up, kind of a thing. And then, baseball players, they're just not used to that. They always feel like we all have to grab something. Let them go.
Well,
that was the only shame of it.
You saw the umpire's reaction.
Umpire, get the hell out of the way.
I'm out of here. I'm not going to get hit by this.
That's right. The umpire was in the middle, but he looked like it was going to be a hockey fight, so he said, screw it. I'm getting out of the way.
I like that ump. He did the right thing.
Yep, and let these two guys decide who was going to stand up at the end. So
That was fun. And Ramirez, he caught Anderson.
I love the announcer. I think it's for Cleveland who do it. He said, "Down goes Anderson."
Mm-hmm.
It's like Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
I saw somebody, every website on planet Earth was writing about this. One of the, what's the word in the business, Josh? Headlines. One of the headlines was, and maybe you have to remember some of these. If you're young, you won't get it, but it says here, Ramirez right hand sent Anderson crumpling to the ground like Roberto Duran against Tommy Hearns. And they had some brawls back in the day. So if you heard there, Ramirez after the game said that, he thinks Tim Anderson's been disrespecting the game for a while. There was something that happened Friday night also that pissed Ramirez off, where he says he talked to Tim Anderson and said, "You're disrespectful." Then the following night is when Ramirez goes sliding into second, and he thinks that Anderson unnecessarily tagged him in the face, and that's how it all started.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think it was a bang-bang play. I mean, Anderson catches the ball and just kind of puts the glove down. I'm not so sure he did that on purpose.
Well, no, he probably didn't, Randy Shaver, but I think Ramirez was looking for a reason to finally punch Tim Anderson in the face.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of looked like Anderson got it in the nards, too. He got headbutted right in the nards almost.
Did he take a headbutt to the
kind of
pill?
looked like
I didn't know that.
Ramirez slid through his legs there.
It was a hell of a scene. So let me try to bring you up to speed with what Tim Anderson's been saying. And he's a different kind of a guy. He's one of the least happy athletes that I could bring up at this point.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
He just
seems that way.
Always seems to be edgy and unhappy. And I think at one point, didn't he give the Chicago crowd the finger one night because they were booing him? And he just seems like, a friend of mine says at one point or another, he was interviewed and he said the only reason he's out here playing baseball is because of the money. He really doesn't love baseball. Maybe someone can find that quote.
I'll bet you there's a few players.
I'm sure there are.
That are like
So there are
Well,
probably not many vocalize it like that.
Right. Of course, there's plenty of athletes out there who are doing it just for the money. I've brought that up a few times on our program where you can kind of tell who's out there for the love of the game and who's out there because they want to be rich and famous. But like Brad said, very few of them vocalize it. The fans don't like to hear that stuff.
Sure.
At any rate, Tim Anderson sent out 9 tweets or whatever they're called now that Twitter isn't Twitter anymore. Twitter, whatever. I'm going to try to combine them all best I can. Lots of profanity in here. But here's Tim. Tim Anderson, I think, is really having a hard time dealing with being made fun of over this. These guys have egos. Massive egos.
It's a little too late for that now.
All this happened for a reason, he tweeted. We staying focused with this Been going through this for a minute. Keep kicking on me while I'm down. A lot of mother effers been switching up, too. And who the F gave losers opinions? So suddenly, I guess anybody with a negative opinion of him is now a loser. Okay. I see how that works. Y'all got me effed up. I had a... Oh, okay, I got it. I'm struggling with what some of these terms mean, but I got it. Y'all got me effed up for real, for real. Hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, too. The bigger picture is what he said.
Okay.
What a mess.
Thank you for that.
He's having a tough time with this.
Yeah.
The middle finger incident, it was a Twins fan he was flipping off.
Oh.
Okay.
So it wasn't Chicago fans. Okay. I don't know. He just seems very unhappy. Staying with baseball. Not a bad way to sweep a series, huh, you pricks?
No. What a great weekend. Joe Mauer goes into the Hall of Fame. It was a super night on Saturday.
I'm looking forward to talking to Dick about that tomorrow because it was terrific.
It was awesome. And then Kepler and Wallner last night sealed the deal in the 9th inning. It was just a great comeback win last night. So 4.5 ahead of Cleveland. They have they've been able to establish some separation here. So
time to set up the rotation for the playoffs.
after they come off this road trip, I think I saw they finished the month with like 12 of their last 14 at home too. So if you can just have a decent road trip here and then come back home, and do what you do at home, you could go into September with a nice little cushion.
Home cooking, Brad Ryder.
Yeah.
5-3 yesterday. Great bottom of the ninth, like you said. Strudel goes upper tank dong. Wallner 2-run dong. Dallas Keuchel, nice enough debut, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was. He's not going to overpower anybody, but he.
No, I think his fastball's about 88.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
He's just very smart, and he's a great. Knows how to locate his pitches, and he just did what he had to do. They wanted 5 innings. He gave him 5, and that's all they needed. And the bullpen kind of did the rest. A little bit of a struggle here and there, but it was just a big win. I mean,
Here's the stat from yesterday's game. The Diamondbacks set a franchise record with 8 stolen bases. They pulled off 3 double steals of second and third.
Well, that's scouting there.
Well, they are a running team. I mean, I watched a little bit of the games this weekend, and Dick talked about it both Friday and Saturday with Glenn on there. They are a running team. They like to steal bases.
None of the 8 stolen bases led to a run. The offense for Arizona stranded 12 runners, but my damn, they were running up and down. So they start a 4-gamer in Detroit now, like you guys were saying. 5:40 tonight on Bally Sports North. Pablo Lopez on the bump.
I'm a little bit surprised more teams aren't running more this year, because with the new rule change, you can only throw over to first base 1 time.
Well, bigger bases, new rule changes, yeah.
Yeah.
I took too big a hit.
A pitcher seems to be obviously more focused on that clock and getting into their pitches as opposed to watching those runners.
And if the pitcher always runs the clock down to 2 or 3 seconds, you can time that out as a runner a little bit and know that he's not going to throw over there.
You want to talk about a pitcher who doesn't rely on velocity for success like Dallas Keuchel. Wapple with his first pitch yesterday.
I saw that.
Proved he's the best athlete of the bunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Proud of you, Wapple.
I bet you got a sore arm this morning.
Yep, cannon arm over here.
Really?
Wapple and what's her name? Ashley and I sent our pitches to Near Woodbury.
Yeah.
Wapple kept his in the ballpark and threw a nice pitch to TC Bear.
Hit TC's glove even.
Yeah, hit TC's glove, but then it bounced off the glove and rolled into the Twins' dugout.
Well, that's a pass ball. That's not a wild pitch. So
of course not.
Yep. And then here comes Rocco Baldelli. He has my ball in his hand, and he's like, here you go.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
That's so cool.
And did he also say, hey, can you stick around?
Hey, kid, we might need you in the 9th. Yeah, it was great.
Well, fantastic.
Thank you to everyone at the Twins. Everyone was amazing over there.
They're a tough crowd to hang around. They're a tough crowd to get along with over there at the Twins, aren't they?
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There was more violence at the ballpark. Minor leaguer, I don't know if you, or not even minor leaguer, independent league, Atlantic League, I don't know what all this stuff means. Do you remember this guy? He had a cup of coffee in the bigs. His name is Rowdy Reed. Anybody? I don't remember him.
No.
Okay, nowadays he's playing in the independent league. He was a catcher in the bigs, and now he's a first baseman. He's a big dude. You can tell he's built like a big leaguer. So now he's playing for the Spire City Ghost Hounds. I don't even know where the hell's Spire City? He playing first base. They finish off a 6-4-3 double play. You got to see this video. It's wacky.
Frederick, Maryland.
My goodness. He finishes off the 6-4-3 double play there at first base, tosses his glove aside, and makes a beeline for the stands to beat somebody's ass who was heckling him. In the video, he chases him up the stairs. The hecklers are running away as fast as they can. He's chasing him up the stairs.
I would run too.
Security guard gets between Rowdy Reed and this fan. Teammates let him back down towards the field. That's a fun one.
This video is up on 93x.com.
One witness said that the hecklers had it coming. They were saying some things that should get you punched in the mouth. He wasn't ejected from the game. He even batted in the bottom of the ninth, and he took out all of his aggressions on striking out, and the game was over. But the real story is watching him run up into the stands to knock somebody out. Never got a hold of him. This is some harsh weed.
You okay over there?
No, I can't stop coughing. This is harsh stuff.
You and that legal weed, you just can't get enough of it.
Well, this isn't mine. Wapple brought this in.
Oh, that Waffle stash?
I gave it to him.
He said it was the Danny Bonaducci. Remember how last week we were talking about all the celebrities who have weed named after them? He said this was the Danny Bonaducci special. And I'm coughing over here, Josh.
I hear it.
You know what that pairs well with? World's Dumbest.
Oh, I love that show.
Yep.
Are Wapo and I the only ones who watch the World's Dumbest program?
I've seen a few of those where they have comedians commenting on viral videos.
Yeah, like C-list celebrities. And who was it? Tanya Harding or something?
Oh, God. I think I can give you the whole rundown, Wapo, because I watch this show whenever it's like World's Dumbest Partiers, Rednecks, Drivers, Criminals, whoever.
I've never seen it.
Oh, God. It's Danny Bonaducci. Who did you just say? Tanya Harding, the figure skater. Todd Bridges from Different Strokes. Frank Stallone, brother of Sylvester Stallone, who's very, very funny and really dislikes Russian people, I've gotten from watching the show. And there's some other comics who you might recognize. It's a great show.
I can't believe all those people were available.
Right.
It is tough, yeah.
It's a tough get.
Boy, people sure are worried about whether or not Shohei Ohtani and the Angels are going to make the playoffs.
Well, yeah, because obviously there was this big discussion about trading him at the trade deadline in order to get something in return. If you're an Angels fan, they're now 10.5 games behind Texas in the West, and it looks like they're not going to make the playoffs, and he'll probably be gone. They get nothing in return.
That sucks.
I get all that. I certainly understand why the Angels organization is worried about it and the fans. But every day I see a new article about Ohtani is so great, what a shame he's not going to make the playoffs, or what a shame if he never gets to play in the World Series. Here's the latest. Shohei Ohtani might be having the greatest big league season of all time and still miss the playoffs. He leads the majors in home runs, triples, slugging percentage, total bases. Oh, God, his pitching is not as good as last year, but he does lead the entire league in hits allowed per 9 innings. He's awesome.
Right. But ever since the trade deadline, they've lost every game.
Yeah, they've lost 6 in a row.
Yeah.
They're 7 back in a wild card right now.
Yeah.
I mean, where I'm going with all this is there have been a lot of great athletes who never had much luck as far as team accomplishments go. You know.
Right. But this is a once-in-a-generation kind of guy.
Well, I understand all that. But, I mean, Randy Shaver, Ernie Banks, Ferguson Jenkins, right? You're an old Cubs fan when you were a kid. They never made the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers, did they never make the playoffs?
I don't think they did.
I mean, so all I'm saying is, give it some time. And just because he doesn't go on and win a World Series doesn't take anything. I mean, I was thinking about some NHLers like Pat LaFontaine. I think he made the Stanley Cup final once. Mike Gartner. Adam Oates. Phil Housley.
The year that Rod Carew almost hit 400, the Twins were under 500 that year, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Ohtani's going to end up
Barry
somewhere.
Sanders, great example, the listener, Barry Sanders.
Right. He's going to end up somewhere where they're going to be making the playoffs.
Ken Griffey Jr. never played in the World Series, did he? No.
I don't think so.
Ichiro never played in the World Series as far as I can remember.
No.
Dominique Wilkins never played in the NBA Finals. I'm just saying. Maybe you had to be there. You guys are probably busy come October, middle of October, huh?
Busy?
Yeah.
Well, busier than I am right now.
You got school.
Yeah.
What am I trying to avoid?
Come on.
Yeah, he knew right away. Wow.
Tell me what I'm trying to avoid. Then I'll let you know if I'm busy.
We just announced our Brotherhood Border Bash.
Oh, yeah, I'm busy.
We could do a
cabling, dude.
live in-person dad fights.
We could do a live dad fight.
Sure. When and where?
Sure. Stop it.
Well, but see, he's comfortable. Randy always gets uncomfortable in front of people.
You do some gambling.
You could gamble, Randy. You're a junkie.
It's about time for me to stop in studio again. I haven't been there for a while.
I could see Randy walking down to the sports book just in his underwear, 3 o'clock in the morning, trembling, so he can make a bet on the Phillies versus the Nationals game, or so that way. I guess
before us.
By then it'll be playoff. But anyway, October 19th through the 24th. First, how do you say it, Josh?
You got it. 21st.
October 19th through the 21st, St. Croix Casino, Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. You guys are both invited.
Thursday through a Saturday?
Yeah.
So Friday morning.
So you do the Friday morning. Friday morning would be the live dad fight show.
Yes. Thursday we drink beer. Friday we have a boring live broadcast. But it would spice it up if you guys showed up for a live dad fight. Friday night.
I could. I can't, though. It's MEA. Football's on Wednesday and Thursday night. And I have a live selection show on Friday morning the 20th. So
fair enough.
I'm out.
You can
That's too bad.
Book your trip right now, folks. If you haven't heard of this yet, we've talked about it a couple times. Go to 93x.com and get lined up. You know who already booked a trip?
Who's that?
Listeners have been texting in saying, I've already signed up. They've been saying, I'll see you there at the how do you call it again? Brotherhood Bash.
We could still do a live dad fight. I could just show up alone and see if I get the questions right and actually win.
Give it a shot. It'd be nice to have you out there.
Oh, you mean so Randy's on the phone this time and is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so you don't have a delay.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what, Brad? If that makes you happy, go do it.
Maybe this will change your mind, Randy Shaver. Here is another listener who texted in to say they've already bought their hotel room or whatever the hell you do when you go to our website. I'm fat because every time I bang your mom, she makes me a sandwich Jesus.
That's nice of her.
Well, they have a very kind mother.
He already has a room. Hopefully it's a big room. Check it out on our website.
Josh, do you know that guy?
You son of a bee. I hope not. If he shows up with my mom on his arm, I'm going to be pretty bummed out.
Well, this might work perfectly for I'm fat because every time I bang your mom, she makes me a sandwich Jesus. This whole gimmick is sponsored by MinnesotaFatLoss.com.
Oh, perfect.
And Stitchworth Meats. Boy, he's going to be torn.
Oh, yeah. Stitchworth is good stuff.
Yeah, how come you guys bogarted all the beef jerky? We didn't get any.
You guys left too soon.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's our right. We've been here a long time.
Yep. So you guys just
could have held
brats.
some.
Yeah, I had some of the brats too. Did you try those yet, Josh?
I did.
They're
Last
very
night.
good.
Yeah.
Oh.
So good.
So
Last
good.
night.
I hear you. Oh, Leaf Garrett is also a member of that program, World's Dumbest Guapo. We forgot Leaf Garrett.
Yep.
He was big back in the day.
I was made for dancing, I think was one of his big hits. Or you were made for dancing. Someone can look that up for me. Then he got into the booger sugar.
I was made for dancing.
I was made for dancing.
So was I.
All right. Well, I just wanted to throw that your way. You know, we're going to start pumping this Borderhood How do you say it again?
The Brotherhood Border Bash.
The party in Wisconsin at the casino, Turtle Lake.
That's 3 B's. They shouldn't have done that to us.
I don't know why. It's 2023. Why do we still have to have the gimmicky names for everything we do in radio?
Yeah, we didn't need a name.
No.
I don't know which Friday it is, but there is a Friday late in October where I don't have class, where we're off. So I have to check and see.
It was more of an invite for Randy, but so
Okay,
don't worry
all right.
about it, Brad.
I can take Randy's suite if he's not going to use it.
We would love to see you, Brad. Of course, I'm kidding. It would be a great time. All right, I teased this story earlier, and I don't want to miss this one because Josh knows this. This sounds like a lot of diarrhea. I doubt any of us have ever encountered this much diarrhea. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh, my.
It's time.
57 swimmers caught diarrhea at the World Triathlon Championships. The triathlon, running, swimming, and vaping. What am I missing?
Covered it all.
Oh, bicycle riding. Vaping. 57. There was 2,000 people jumped into the sea somewhere over off the coast of the United Kingdom. 2,000. So I guess that's not such a bad. 57 of them just got sick as a dog.
Oh my God.
It was right after they got out the water.
Oh, did the water do it?
It was immediate then, huh?
They were in the ocean. They got a case of the ocean sprays.
Gross.
Now, some folks that call themselves the UK Health Security Agency said they're going to take diarrhea samples from all the sick people.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Take a close look at it and try to find out what made everybody crap their shorts. Take a little from you.
Anybody ever have to give a diarrhea sample?
I didn't have to.
It's not easy.
What?
You've had to?
I've had to in the hospital. It was like incredibly easy, but maybe
really?
it's different if you're in a hospital setting. Yeah, they were just like, here's this bowl thing. Or actually, it was already in the toilet. And they were like, just do your business.
Oh, they just gave me a little
and you're
cup.
Good.
What?
No,
They were messing with you,
That
man.
was a prank, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually this whole thing that you just put on the toilet so you don't have to.
Are you serious?
Dude,
Let's see if we can get this dumbass from Egan to poop in a shot glass.
Oh my God, Dana, that's so good.
They were playing with you.
Here's your thimble, Dana. Go.
That's honestly what it was like. It was this tiny little cup, and then I had to put it in the cabinet.
God.
You know, they reach in and grab it.
Cup.
Yes.
Are you sure you weren't supposed to pee in
No,
it?
I had salmonella. Like that was there to give them the sample.
They were playing the game, the old hospital game. Is he dumb enough to poop in his own hand? And you lost.
I did.
That must have been absolutely terrible.
I won't get into all the details, but you can imagine.
That's a terrible story. I'm sorry that they did that to you. Josh has been, I think, abused at doctors' offices as well.
Yeah, but they never did that to me.
They never did that to you?
No.
Wow. Oh, yeah, kid in the bandana, he'll poop in the cup, no doubt.
Poop in anything.
Didn't you go in for a migraine or something, Josh? And next thing you know, the doctor asked you to get an erection or something like that?
Nah, he wanted to. He wanted to give me the finger, and I went in for like a cold.
Well, you were like 30, also, right?
No, I was young. I mean, I was. I didn't.
That makes
I
it
was
even
a
worse.
teenager, but I wasn't old enough to drive. So my dad was there.
That makes it even worse. Yeah.
And so he's like, "All right, go. Take off your stuff, or I'm going to check." And so I snuck out to the lobby. I'm like, "Dad, he wants me to. Do I have to do this?" He's like, "Heck no." So my dad came back in with me and said, "No, he doesn't need to get his beehole checked for a cold or whatever it was."
Good Lord.
I never had that happen. Now I request it.
Oh, I know. I hate that. I hate that story because that's ridiculous. Dana's over here with his bare hand under his ass. Oh, they told me I got to make a sample.
So did you just do it at home?
No, I did it at the doctor's office.
Oh yeah, they messed with you, dude.
I was so sick too. I actually came close to dying from food poisoning. That salmonella.
Well, now we can't make fun. Well, we probably still can.
You
You
definitely
survived.
still can. I
We
survived.
can still make fun. He's not dead.
How'd you get salmonella? They figured out?
Yeah, it was. I was so stupid. Thought I was making a good, healthy choice at the gas station. I was gonna get something.
Oh, the gas station.
Not the time to be healthy.
No. So I was gonna get like Fritos or something, and I got peanut butter crackers instead. And the peanut butter crackers, packaged peanut butter crackers, they had a bad batch, and that's what gave me the salmonella.
Man, that's messed up.
Making a good food choice at the gas.
I mean, you can get pretty unhealthy at the gas station.
Well, wait a minute now. It's not 1956 anymore. You can get good things to eat at the gas
I'll tell
station.
you, I lived on gas station food. When I used to landscape, that's all we ate for the most part.
Just get dogs off the rollers and big fountain sodas.
Yep.
The best.
Well, so back to this diarrhea cannonball contest they had in England somewhere. They're going to sample everybody's poop. And there's an environmental agency took a red Solo cup or something and dipped it into the water that they were swimming in and said it was more or less just a E. coli cocktail.
Oh, God.
I hear that stuff's pretty bad, pretty miserable.
Yeah.
One of the athletes.
I'm lucky I've never been that sick.
No, I've been lucky too. One of the athletes said he felt like garbage pretty much right after he jumped out the waters. And he said, well, he's an Englishman, so they talk funny. I have been feeling pretty rubbish since the race, but I guess that's what happens when you swim in he said. Another athlete said, I spent Monday night with my head in the toilet after racing Sunday morning. Everybody caught dead. All right. That was fun. I knew we could go somewheres with that. We're built for that type of story.
Now we know how gullible Dana is. So.
Yeah.
I was so sick that I would have done anything they told me. I was delirious at that point.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you sign your next contract, did you know there's a diarrhea test you have to take? And you have to do it in front of everybody.
Whole company's here watching.
I think this idiot's going to do it.
I don't know how far we want to go with this, but a few people were making noise about the Big Ten getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Oregon and Washington are going to come this way now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if this bothers anybody or you're excited or I don't really.
I think eventually what's going to happen is the college football is going to turn into the NFL. There's going to be the AFC and the NFC.
Oh, there
There's
you
going
go.
to be the Big Ten and the SEC. Because the Big 12, I think Arizona State's going there now. They're going to be kind of like a third string to the SEC and the Big Ten. I mean, the Big Ten was founded basically because it's all Midwestern schools geographically playing against each other, saving money on travel, blah, blah, blah. And it's turned into this, coast-to-coast league that's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's how all conferences were formed, back when they were forming
regionally.
Right. Yeah, but you got to accept the fact it's all about money now.
It is.
Yes.
There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that grabs me, and I'm not too wound up one way or the other. I mean, when I see USC and UCLA playing here and we're flying way out to Washington, then it'll set in. Right now, I'm not going to get too aggravated about it, but it is going to be kind of interesting. I mean, let's say you are a fan of Washington, the University of Washington, the Huskies.
Sure.
And you got a friggin' game in Rutgers in New Jersey.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The friggin' game's going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. Right?
That's a regular season game.
Yeah.
It's not like a non-conference once every 5 years. That could be
right.
You're going to the East Coast easily two or three times a year.
With the amount of teams that are going to be in this league now, though, you're probably not going to have that every year. Washington's not going to play Rutgers every year.
Well, it depends how they break this thing up. You're right.
Yeah.
They may go east and west. And
they may have three divisions. You never know.
And our listeners are pointing this out via text that we're going to start getting friggin' 9:30 kickoffs because we're playing in L.A. or Washington.
You're going to get those because the Big Ten is going to find a way to televise everybody.
Right.
I can see them doing for football. I can see them doing 3 divisions of 6, and then for the playoffs, maybe having a semifinal round before the championship. And they're gonna.
I hate those.
They're
going
to make
starts.
use of it.
I hear you.
NBC obviously is carrying Big Ten games starting this year in prime time on Saturday nights. So the TV, exposure of the Big Ten has just mushroomed. So yeah, this is the reason why the money is crazy.
Yep. The minute these conferences went to their own networks and got their own networks, you could see the writing on the wall. You could see that stuff like this was going to happen, especially, when Big Ten Network launched. I mean, it took a few years, but you could see where they were going with that.
And there's no way the Big Ten or any other conference is going to let the SEC do what they're doing and not respond to that, right? They're not going to let the SEC expand and then you sit tight. That's just not going to happen.
All right, let's see what you got here, boys. Remember last week we talked about an article from the USA Today that named the worst player ever from each NFL franchise. Let's go this way now. This week they've put up a list of the best player ever for all of the NFL franchises. This could be fun, maybe an argument or two, but maybe not. I bet you boys can damn near guess every one of them. So the greatest player to ever play for each NFL franchise. Are you ready?
Sure.
Arizona Cardinals. Go ahead.
Gosh. Larry Fitzgerald.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons.
Matt Ryan.
No, but you're very close because they played together.
The receiver, then. I can't think of his name. Sorry.
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones.
Baltimore Ravens.
Ray Lewis.
Buffalo Bills.
Jim Kelly.
Nope.
Bruce Smith.
Yes. Carolina Panthers. This one's for Randy.
I know it, but I'm going to let him get it.
Suck it, Randy.
Don't know.
Cam Newton. You know it's Cam Newton.
God, I hate Cam.
He's the greatest freaking Carolina Panther ever. God. Chicago Bears.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Anthony Munoz.
That's correct. Cleveland Browns.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Dallas Cowboys.
Roger Staubach.
No. More recent.
More recent.
Not Tony Romo.
Not
Emmitt
Zeke.
Smith.
Emmitt Smith. Denver Broncos.
John Elway.
Detroit Lions.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
Green Bay Packers.
It's got to be Favre.
Not. They went with the gas bag.
They did? Really?
Yeah, the gas
Over
bag.
Favre.
Yeah.
Wow.
Houston Texans.
J.J. Watt.
Andre Johnson.
That was J.J. Watt. Indianapolis Colts.
Peyton Manning.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Offensive lineman.
Tony Vaselli.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's a good guess, but no.
Oh.
Oh, Bobby Bell.
No, they
That's
went.
a good guess, too.
No, they went with the dude.
No, Mahomes?
Yeah, they went with Mahomes.
Oh.
Las Vegas Raiders. This might be a tough one.
Well, you got to think about Oakland.
Of course.
I will say Jim Otto.
Ooh, good one, but no.
Ken Stabler.
Not Kenny the Snake Stabler. Big offensive lineman.
Oh, oh, gosh.
Can't think of his name.
It's Art Shell.
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one.
Gene Upshaw.
Gene Upshaw. Okay.
Los Angeles Chargers, my one-time
Junior Seau.
drinking buddy, Junior Seau, the late, great Junior Seau. Los Angeles Rams.
Merlin Olsen.
No.
The defensive lineman?
Yes.
Oh,
Deacon
Jones.
No.
No. Oh, the current guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
I would have preferred Deacon Jones or Merlin Olsen.
Yeah.
Dolphins.
Marino.
Dan Marino.
Vikings.
Page.
Patriots.
Brady.
The lunatic.
Yeah.
Saints.
Breeze.
Drew Brees.
Giants.
Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor.
The Jets, they went with Darrell Revis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Not that the Jets.
I would have taken Don Maynard.
Ooh, Don Maynard.
The great receiver.
Eagles.
Reggie
White.
No.
No?
Really?
Linebacker. Actually, he played both ways. That's how long ago they went with the Eagles. He went both ways. Here come the text messages. Chuck Bednarik.
Chuck Bednarik.
Steelers.
Joe Green.
Niners.
Jerry Rice.
This is a weird one. Sea Ducks.
Steve Largent.
No, it should have been Steve Largent. They went
Bobby Wagner.
We went with Walter Jones.
Who?
What?
The lineman?
Tackle. Yeah, left tackle.
What?
Buccaneers.
Derek Brooks.
Yep. Titans, otherwise known as Oilers.
Oh, Bruce Matthews.
No.
No?
Oh,
No.
Warren Moon?
Warren Moon. Finally, the Washington Commodores.
Sammy Baugh.
No.
Okay. I'm way off.
John Riggins.
No. You're missing an all-time great cornerback.
Oh.
Oh.
The really fast guy.
Yeah.
The really fast guy.
I know.
I can see him. I can't think of his name.
Darryl Green.
Darryl Green.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. This is really shocking to see that fans were fighting each other in the stands and in the hallways at the Jake Paul-Nate Diaz fight. That's really shocking.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it, Josh?
Seems like that's how it goes, right?
Josh and I have said this many times. This is why I will never attend a live UFC event or a boxing match. The crowd is just loaded with drunken dildos with something to prove.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not everybody. There are plenty of fight fans out there who are actually mature enough to be able to simply watch a fight and behave normally, but there's just enough overgrown children there with misplaced anger issues at those events that keeps me at home.
You know, you and I have been to a lot of those, and I don't know that we've been to one where there wasn't some sort of fight somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So you say this fight was no good? It wasn't a good...
I didn't see it. That's just what I read. That a lot of people were making fun of it, saying it wasn't a very good fight.
All right, that's fair enough. Well, I'm kind of worried about one of my all-time favorites here. I hope everything's going well for Ricky Rubio.
What's the matter? I didn't hear about this.
Brad
He's
Ryder
decided to step away.
He's announced a decision to pause his basketball career for a stretch of time. He wants to ease her back to address some mental health issues.
Oh, that's too bad.
He was set to play for Spain in the FIBA World Cup that I don't think there's any radio station in the country that's been talking more about this FIBA World Cup
It's
than
exhausting.
us. I'm looking forward to it, but Ricky was going to play for Spain, and now he's going to take a little rest. I don't know if he's planning on being ready to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers to start the season. I still love watching Ricky play. Tore his ACL last year, didn't play much, but I was hoping he'd be back and ready to go. Maybe one year he'll win it all with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
It's too bad here he's going through that.
Cleveland's not a bad team.
No, they're not. They got a lot of great young players. I'd like to see Ricky win a title. Man, there are times, though, when I was convinced I could have found a 7th grader with a better jump shot than Ricky Rubio. But I love to watch all the other elements of his game. And he seems like such a sweet guy.
Super nice guy.
He's a likable guy. Yeah.
Man. Who was it? Was it Josh? Was it you and I who were out one night and we saw Ricky at the club and the babes were just friggin' kicking each other in the ass?
No, it wasn't me. I'm sorry I missed that.
Jesus criminy, the women were kicking each other in the ass to get at Ricky Rubio.
I thought it was just a zoo.
Oh, my God.
I saw him after he tore his ACL. He comes into the bar, not like right after, but he was on crutches. That's why I remember that. It was right after his ACL injury. He comes into the bar on crutches, there for about 5 minutes, leaves with 2 girls.
Oh, man.
That's badass.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you're pooping in your hand at the doctor's office.
Actually, Drillin' Philin' Jesus, he texted and said he's got a drug test coming up for work soon, and he wants to know, Dana, can he borrow a stool sample?
Coming right up, man. Just DM me your address.
I can't believe I've shook your hand in the past.
Oh, God.
You got to warn a guy.
I can't believe that happened to me. And I never once thought it was abnormal until right now. That's the most embarrassing part.
One other time, and I know I'm probably forgetting something, but there was one other time where I was at a bar and a pro athlete was there, and when he walked in, you literally heard all the girls at the bar go, "Ah!" And that was, some of you probably don't remember, but some of you do. Willie Mitchell.
Oh, sure.
Willie Mitchell, the hockey player.
Yeah,
right?
played for the Pigs. He was their best defenseman for a couple, 3 years. Willie Mitchell walked into the bar once, and the rest of the dudes in that joint, we might as well have been furniture.
I remember he was a pretty decent-looking guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I met him that night. He was very friendly, very nice, very Canadian. Meaning friendly.
Ricky Rubio's teammate, Kevin Love, one time I saw him at the bar. Maybe a pro athlete wants to be a little incognito.
Kevin Love?
Kevin Love from Death from Above.
Oh, I thought you said Kevin Lowe. I'm sorry.
Kevin Love.
Yes, Kevin Love, Death from Above.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to be a little more incognito, so he's wearing one of those things that had the glasses and the nose and the mustache.
Are you serious?
Really?
But you're 6'11".
Yeah.
You're not gonna hide.
Like a Marx Brothers type bit. All right.
It was pretty funny.
Well, here's another guy, hockey player in town who might have had some luck at the bars in his time here, but now he gone. Matty Dumba has signed a deal with the Arizona Coyotes, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, there you go. Everybody kind of saw this coming.
Yeah.
Yep. Not surprised.
He had a good run here.
He did.
10 years. I can't believe he played for this club. Did he play 10 years? That's what it says here. That's hard to believe.
I believe it.
Jesus. Balls.
Interesting choice of teams, though. They're not exactly on the cusp of winning a cup down there.
Well, you know what he's going to get? He's going to get
that's why.
A hell of a lot of ice time. I mean, sure, the money is great, but these guys are going to be rich wherever they go. This, I think, is about ice time. He's going to be on the ice for the power play on the... You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I know, maybe it sounds silly talking about pros and ice time, but I think... Sure, the money's great, $4 million from what I understand. I don't have any idea what that compares to what he might have made with another club. But he is going to be the guy.
Then I guess living in Phoenix in the winter doesn't suck either.
You know, there's a few hockey players who go that route.
Yeah.
Who go to Florida or go to Arizona. They don't give a rat's ass about winning a cup. They're just tired of the cold weather. They want to golf every day that they have off. So there you go. There goes Matty Dumba. You know, we got Brock Faber in town now and all that, ready to play for the Pigs. So, I mean, he ranks second in franchise history in goals for a defenseman. 236 career points. He did well. He was a guy I heard a lot of griping about at the bar, though, the last 3 years. A lot of griping at the bar. And I don't watch enough Pigs hockey to know if their gripes were, what's the word I'm looking for, Josh? Legitimate. I just know that a lot of it. And I'm not trying to start another, sarcastic conversation about Gerald Suter. What the hell was his first name again? Ryan Suter. I'm not trying to start. I'm just. It was Suter. When Suter and Dumba had the puck on the power play, the bar would collectively groan.
On the topic of seeing athletes, ex-hotel, she said she saw Josh Harding at the Loop downtown one night. She was so flustered she ran into a door.
It was like when you and I made fools of ourselves meeting David Coverdale.
Oh, man. I'm kind of even embarrassed by that. We were puddles. As soon as he started talking.
Yes.
What was that old restaurant bar right across from Target Center 20 years ago? What was the name of that place?
Oh, Bella Notte.
Bella Notte. Okay, so about 20 years ago, and I was working for the Twins, one night after a game, in walks Torrey Hunter.
Oh, damn.
Okay. I mean, you want to talk about people making a dash for the doorway.
Yeah.
To greet him. Oh, my goodness.
I know some ladies still to this day, if Torrey Hunter or Michael Kadire are on television, their pants come off. You know what I'm talking about? Who were you just... what was his name, the actor? That you were just talking about? The actor. Josh Hartnett?
No, Josh Harding.
Josh Harding of the formerly of the, or with the Wild.
I got confused. I thought you were talking about the... which is funny because I used to tease Josh Harding on the air by calling him Josh Hartnett. I got lost because Hartnett is an actor and he's from here, right?
Yes.
You're talking about the hockey player, Harding.
Josh Harding.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, the Coverdale thing was embarrassing because David Coverdale is one of the greatest rock singers to ever live, and also one handsome Englishman.
Yeah, and he exudes coolness.
Oh, my damn. Everything he says is cool, and it sounds sexy. And we had him on the air, and we talked to him for 10 minutes. We went to a commercial break, and then we got a chance to actually go meet him. And when I walked in first, and I said, "Hey, David," I mean, I couldn't talk. And then what did you fell down or something? I can't remember, but we just made asses of ourselves.
Yeah, I walked in too intimidated, walked out. Can't even say anything to him. Actually, Dana, get out of that seat. That's where he was sitting. You don't deserve that. I don't deserve
this spot. We got to go, boys, because we got to, speaking of athletes and good-looking people, we got a special guest, so we'll talk to you tomorrow. Brandy and Brad, thank you.
Okay. Yep.
Coming up next, she's in town for Raw at Target Center tonight. Honestly, one of the greats, Natalya from the WWE, will be here in just a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Hey Minnesota, CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep. Going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, here we go. It's 8:25. This is pretty cool. I mean, especially for a Monday. We get to start off what is usually a miserable Monday with a visit in studio by an all-timer from the WWE. Raw is in town tonight at Target Center, and joining us right now, one of the best in the business, Natalya Neidhart. Good morning, Natalya.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for coming in. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it's and tonight is the first Raw after SummerSlam.
That is correct. We were actually talking about that earlier, that, SummerSlam it's the biggest show for WWE next to WrestleMania. So coming off that show, this being the first Raw coming off SummerSlam, it's kind of like a restart.
Yeah.
Brand new storylines, a lot of shenanigans. So it'll be great. It's going to be an incredible show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, something always happens on the Monday after WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's again, no spoilers, but you're going to, expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
You never know what Seth Rollins has up his sleeve, or Cody Rhodes, or Sami Zayn. I know the Judgment Day will be here tonight, so it'll be an event-filled evening, as well as all of our women in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I know Becky Lynch is fired up, and we've got Zoe Stark, and just so many different women that are so talented. So very, very exciting.
Yeah, and speaking of pay-per-views, we're kind of pumped here in the Twin Cities, because the word we got, I don't know, a week ago, was that we are in the running for our very first WrestleMania, possibly in a couple of years. I mean, listen to Wapple over there.
I am so excited.
Natalya, do you see the Muppet across the board? He is enormous. Well, were you warned before you walked in here that we're pretty massive wrestling dorks on this program?
You know what? I love that. You're my kind of people.
Okay. Before I even finish my sentence about the possibility of WrestleMania coming to town, Wapple's giggling over there.
Oh, I could not wait.
That's the rumor. I don't know who it is we're up against, what other city, but we might get our first WrestleMania, and that would just be off the charts here.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, listen, when WrestleMania comes to a city, it's a huge spectacle. It's an event. It's like Super Bowl. I mean, it's really big for a city, and I know WWE is definitely in discussions with a lot of different people for WrestleMania, so you never know. You never know if it'll land here. Mm-hmm. Every city that I go to, they're like, we want WrestleMania. So it's like everybody's pulling out the gloves for WrestleMania.
Right.
But it's exciting, and it's exciting to even just think about WrestleMania. I mean, where is this year gone? We just finished SummerSlam. It's like we're going to have Survivor Series and then Rumble, and then it's WrestleMania season. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, next year is a huge one with it being WrestleMania 40. So, I mean, that's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
But they're exciting, and I actually just got a Guinness World Record for having the most WrestleMania appearances of any woman in WWE. So I think we should just go ahead and call me Mrs. WrestleMania.
Is that your sixth world record?
It is my sixth world record. It's funny because I didn't even know originally that I had a Guinness World Record, and then one day I got tagged in a tweet, and I was like, wait, I got a world record for the most wins in WWE, and then it was Randy Orton was tagged in something with Guinness World Records. So I sent Randy a text, and I was like, I didn't know we had these world records. Next thing you know, Guinness in London at Money in the Bank a couple months ago, they were like, we've got a surprise for you. We want to present you with all 6 of these world records that we've discovered that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
that's really cool.
Me being a bit of a diva, I was like, let's do this and let's get it on social media.
Well, I mean, I was wondering if you're even aware of all this, because reading up on you the last couple of days, I thought, I wonder if she's even aware of these Guinness records. Yeah, there's 6 of them.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's funny because I joke about this, but I'm serious. Like, these records aren't for the longest fingernails or how many hot dogs I could eat in 3 seconds. Although I can eat a lot of hot dogs. They're records for my body of work. So the first one is like most wins for a woman in WWE, most pay-per-view matches, most I won't say most losses, but that could be a new one. Most wins, most pay-per-view matches, most WrestleMania appearances, most Raw matches, most SmackDown matches. I'm probably missing one there, but it's for a lot of work. So basically, it's just Natty worked a lot in WWE. I've had 16 uninterrupted years in the company. So it's really huge. It's awesome. It just means that, I've contributed a lot, and I'm just so proud of that. For me, that's, all character stuff aside, that's real.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you think about the men that have those records along with me, it's like Rey Mysterio, most matches on SmackDown, and Kane, had had the most wins in WWE history for the men, and I'm in like amazing company with legendary people that have had this incredible body of work like myself. So it's cool.
You should be proud.
It's very cool because I'm also carrying on a family legacy, which is so important to me. That my grandfather Stu Hart passed on to his kids. Many of my uncles and my dad and my grandfather, they're WWE Hall of Famers. So my legacy is so important, and that the fact that I've been able to carry on this rich family legacy and to make my family proud and to have this longevity and staying power within WWE is just like, to me, it's beyond special.
It is. No one would. Is Wapple, are you crying?
A little bit. That was beautiful.
And if you need me to body slam somebody, I'm your girl.
Wapple, that'd be an honor.
Yeah, man.
You and your family are recognized all over the world. Mm-hmm. But I had to ask you this. What is it like to be... What is it like in Calgary? I mean, do you get a minute off? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's it like to be in your hometown? You or any member of your family, it must be something special.
It's so special, and it's like I never take for granted what my family has done. From my grandfather starting, my grandfather's the one that started it all for all of us, and he passed on this torch to his children: Bret Hart, Owen Hart, the British Bulldogs, my uncles, my dad. I feel like I'm always leaving someone out, but then I was able to carry on that torch.
There's a lot of them, Yeah, you might leave one out. Yeah,
there's my dad. My dad actually was just inducted into WWE's Hall of Fame in 2019, which was such a huge honor. But for me as a female, to carry on that legacy that my grandfather passed on to all of his kids and his, all these people that if you're a Hart, you either were a wrestler or you married into it. So it's just this big, wonderful, awesome, magical wrestling family. But for me as a female to carry on that legacy today in 2023 and to do it at such a high level in WWE where women are being, so celebrated within the company. And we've seen so much growth and so much change with women not only main eventing in WrestleMania once, but twice, and now being really a huge, huge part of our programming. It's just cool. Very, very cool to be part of all that.
That's great to hear. Well, now, speaking of your Canadian roots, I have a tough question for you now.
I love those tough questions.
So many great wrestlers, like yourself, come from Canada, but also so many of them come right here from Minnesota.
Right.
So, well, number one, why do you think that is? I mean, aside from your family sprouting, I can't think of the word, creating all these great athletes, there are so many other great Canadian wrestlers and so many great Minnesota. Why do you think that is, number one?
Well, I think people in Minnesota are really tough. It's funny because actually within the industry, if you're from Minnesota, it's always like, oh, he's from Minnesota. Like the Road Warriors. You think about the Legion of Doom. I know they had a couple different names in WWE, but so many incredible superstars were from Minnesota, like Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and like Jesse the Body Ventura. And you think, they're just tough. They don't make them like they do in Minnesota. But
don't look just in this room.
Exactly. No, but you guys are built to last here, and I think that it's a testament to so many of the incredible talent that have come out of this area. So it's cool. There's a lot that have come out of Minnesota that are WWE Hall of Famers and that have really helped revolutionize the sport let's just say this, the revolutionize the industry, sports entertainment.
So when we got Natalya here from the WWE, if you're just tuning in, they got a show tonight at Raw. So I was going to ask you, if we put on like a dream match of all the great wrestlers that ever came from Minnesota versus all the great wrestlers that came from Canada, does Minnesota stand a chance? My first question would be, can we claim Ric Flair and Brock Lesnar?
Yes. Listen, Brock is probably... It's funny because I think it's up for debate, but I think Brock Lesnar is maybe pound for pound the greatest professional wrestler that's ever lived. If he's from Minnesota, then damn, he's putting Minnesota on the map as far as like the best coming out of Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think there's ever been anybody that's been like Brock. He's an anomaly. Yeah. There never will be another person like him ever again.
Well, he is certainly impressive, and we've had him in studio here a couple times, and just awesome to be around. And but you think about all the names from Minnesota, You name some of them. In Canada, you got the Hearts, of course, your family, Chris Jericho, Edge, Roddy Piper, Kevin Owens, Trish Stratus, Christian Cage, Sami Zayn. We could keep going.
Right.
The Rougeaus, Kenny Omega. Minnesota, Rick Rude, the Ganyas, the Davaris, X-Pac, the Hennigs you mentioned, Jesse Ventura. I don't know.
You're missing a few, but
of course.
Because there's so many that, you think Brock Lesnar and Kurt Hennig and, all these different people that have come out of, the Legion of Doom. There's just so many great guys, so many talented people that have come out of Minnesota. But it's just, I think that people here are just built tougher.
Maybe
it's not
cold
just
weather.
It's the cold weather. It's there's something in the coffee out here.
I guess so. I guess so. Here's an interesting text from a listener, Lake Street Handshake Jesus. Tonight is my first time at a live wrestling show. Can you ask Natalya any advice, any pointers? First timer.
Don't be afraid to make a lot of noise. Cheer for the ones that you love, boo the ones that you don't like. I think that's the fun part about going to our shows is it's a release. It's all week long we're all tied into work and we're doing stuff that's stressful. And if you watch the news, it's stressful. And if you things are crazy in the world right now. When you go to a WWE show, it's the time to release and let loose and have fun. Cheer the people that you love, boo the people that you don't like, make a lot of noise, go to the merch stand, buy your favorite shirt, just go all out, have fun, and just let loose because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You never know if Becky Lynch is going to take a selfie with you, or you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who's sitting next to you. Listen, I have a lot of friends that go to the shows, and they're crazy. They're fans just like me. And I'm a proud WWE fan, and when people make noise and they scream and shout and they get behind their favorite superstar, it just makes it that much more fun. So, and also expect the unexpected. I will not give you spoilers, but there's a lot of surprises that are going to happen tonight on Raw.
Again, with the giggling, Wapple, do you know something that we don't know?
No, I just love it.
We know that.
I went to an independent show this weekend, and just so much fun making signs, just giving it to the wrestlers.
Yeah.
They'll give it back to you. You're part of the show.
If Bailey's out there, she'll rip up your sign.
Yep.
But yeah,
I love throwing pancakes,
Exactly, and I love that interaction. When I'm out there and I'm performing, one thing I love to do is I love to everybody that's ringside, I try to take a picture with. I try to slap hands. If I walk out, I wear my merchandise shirt. I rip it off. I throw it out to somebody in the crowd. I've been known to jump out into the crowd and take selfies, and it's just fun. I love that interaction with our audience. That's what makes the show so fun, and I think that's why, listen, WWE's got some world records in itself. Raw is the longest running episodic TV show in television history. So we got to be doing something right.
Now, Wapple over there and I will likely never be all-time great WWE wrestlers, but we do have something in common with you, Natalya. We are superior people like yourself. We are cat owners.
Yes.
Ooh, I've got 8.
Are you friggin' serious?
I've got 8 cats.
I knew you had at least 3 or 4.
I know. Well, my mom lives with us, and so she has 4. She moved in with us a couple years ago, so she has 4, and then we have 4. So it's 8.
Jeez Louise.
That's a lot. Are they long-haired cats?
They're Persians.
Okay.
Yeah, they're Persians. We have a couple rescue cats, but they're really spoiled. They're very fancy, very fluffy, and my cat, Two Paws, actually has an Instagram account. You can follow him. 2 is in the number, and then PAWZ, his favorite rapper, is Tupac.
That's awesome.
And
I was just looking at that today, and he drives a Maserati?
He drives a Maserati.
That's awesome.
And it's thug life for him all day long. And he's got almost 150,000 followers. So when I'm at work, I go up to everybody and threaten them. I'm like, Seth Rollins, are you following my cat? Braun Strowman, are you following my cat? And if they don't follow Two Paws, I put them in the sharpshooter.
Two Paws is adorable.
He's adorable. He's very, very fancy.
Wapple, I think you'd kick yourself if you don't tell Natalya a little bit about your cat.
Yeah, so my cat's name is Minnow. She's about 4 years old, and she's also a polydactyl cat.
Oh, they're paws.
Yeah, so she has, I want to say 5 to 6 extra toes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should show her a picture before you go, or else you'll regret it.
You will regret
if
it.
you don't. If you don't.
I definitely need to see it. Those cats are so cool. I mean, I love animals. I'm an animal person. It's just hard for me to have a dog because I travel so much.
Right.
And dogs are like kids. They need lots and lots of attention.
Yeah.
Do you get to bring any of the cats on the road?
You know what's funny is that at one point when I was doing Total Divas, Two Paws had an agent. And the Bella twins got him an agent, and it started out great. And then all of a sudden they were like, "Listen, we've got some interest in doing a signing for your cat." And I was like, "A signing? Like an autograph signing?" And they were like, "Yeah, like Grumpy Cat would come to New York City, and people would touch him and see him and hug him and hold him." I'm like, "My cat's not leaving his bed for less than $10,000 a day." So unless there's a lot of money involved, I can't leave him. He's got his pristine environment. He has his favorite water bowl. He's got his favorite food dish. He has to watch Dateline NBC. He can. Those are things I will not compromise. I mean, he's very into cold case files, but those are things I will not compromise for Two Paws. So unless it's what Naomi Campbell's getting to walk a runway, he's not leaving the house.
Oh my God.
So I think his agency actually dropped him, and I was like, I'm fine with that. He'll do Instagram posts.
Natalya, we know you got a busy day. We appreciate your time. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for coming in. We'll be looking for you tonight, 7 o'clock on USA. If you're going down to the show, I think the show starts at 6:30. Does it start a little earlier?
Yeah, 6:30. Yep.
6:30.
Doors at 5.
Doors at 5. Thank you very much, Natalya from the WWE. We hope we see you again soon.
Can't wait to be back and have an amazing time at the show tonight. I will see you guys there.
Hopefully we'll see you at WrestleMania.
Yes,
here in
that will
town
be
someday.
Listen, I'll be keeping my fingers and toes crossed that you guys one day get WrestleMania because, like I said, every city wants to get it. But yes, fingers and toes crossed for you guys that you get WrestleMania.
We appreciate that very much.
Half-assed morning show 93X.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. We're going to wrap her up here shortly. We hope you folks have a nice rest of your Monday. And thanks again to Natalya from the WWE.
She's great.
She's a terrific.
Better looking in person, I'd say, too.
Man, is she a pretty lady.
Oh, yes.
Man, is she a pretty lady. And honestly, one of the best that company has ever had. We appreciate her stopping by. Setting up tonight's Raw at the Target Center. And, we got a lot of texts for Natalya. Sorry, we wish we could have had her in studio for a longer time. We could have got to some questions from our listening audience. Other than Natalya texts, for the last half hour or so, I've been getting all kinds of texts saying, the Nickelback show is tonight. How come you're not talking about Nickelback? I love Nickelback, but I can't go to concerts on Monday nights.
No, it's not fair that they scheduled on a Monday night. They rock too hard for a Monday night.
They do rock too hard for a Monday. We hope everyone has a blast. Nickelback's at the X.
I've probably seen them 5-6 times. They're a great band to watch live.
Oh,
I bet.
I've loved it. I've loved it when I've seen Nickelback in concert. Have a blast. Sorry it hasn't been front of mind. What's the term?
Top of mind?
Top of mind, just because on Mondays I don't go anywheres. I'm certainly not going out tonight.
Yeah, Mondays are a lot like my Tuesdays through Sundays.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving the house.
Boy, we're surrounded by friggin' Canadians. Nickelback's in town. Yeah. Natalya's down the road at the...
Their hometown actually just had to remove a bunch of signs. They're very proud of Nickelback. And they have signs saying, home of Nickelback, that kind of thing. I guess people are stopping in the middle of the road or whatever to go take photographs, right, like the song, take pictures with these signs. So finally the mayor said, I hate to do it, but we got to take these down.
That's why they took the Welcome to the Boyhood Home of Dana sign out of Egan. They're just causing too much foot traffic. People were just causing a scene.
You know what it is. Too many people drew dongs on it.
What is Nickelback's official hometown? Isn't it up by
Hannah, Alberta?
Alberta, yeah. Hannah?
I believe it's Hannah, Alberta.
I'll be damned.
You're right.
Didn't they used to make some of the finer cartoons when we were kids? Hannah, Alberta.
Hannah and Barbera.
And we got to talking a little bit about cats with Natalya. She has 8 cats at her home.
That's a lot.
I didn't know it was that many.
And then Wapo told her about Minnow and showed her a picture of Minnow eating your beard or something. It was adorable.
And Natalya seemed to be genuinely interested.
Oh, totally. She, right when we got off air, she's like, all right, I need to see that cat right now.
Yeah. We cat people. We're a cut above. Everybody knows that. What do you think of this here? Cats or dogs, whatever kind of pet. 58% of pet owners would donate a kidney to their pet. If, in fact, that kind of thing would work. human to cat or dog kidney transplant.
I bet a cat would look pretty funny with a human kidney in it.
Just bulging out of its side.
It might act a little funny, too. 58% of us, over half of us, would donate a kidney to our pet to save their life.
I guess I think it's circumstantial. Like if they're
You have to explain that to me.
If they're 10 years old, I'm not going to give them my kidney.
Oh,
if they're like,
a young pup?
Yeah, my dog's now 3 and 4. Yeah, I'd give them one of my kidneys. I don't need both of them.
See, sure you don't, but doesn't it raise your chances of having problems, as you get older?
It's possible.
What do you know? Don't you know somebody who gave somebody else a kidney?
I do, yeah. She, a girl I used to know, she gave her aunt one.
Oh, yeah?
And it was funny because...
And everything's been fine?
Funny might be the wrong word. Funny strange.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this, but at the time, she was a little worse off. Not to scare anybody away from it, if you can do it, but the aunt got better instantaneously.
Yeah.
I mean, it was night and day how much she improved, and it took my friend a little while to recover.
The kidney giver had a rough, tough run for a while.
How much of a bummer would it be if you gave your kidney to somebody and then you needed a kidney eventually in your life and
you can have it back.
No one helped you out? It'd be like, dude, I did this for someone else and now I'm screwed.
You write in the contract that you can get it back anytime you want.
It's just you have to take it out. You have to take it out yourself. Doctors won't help you the second time around. Giving your pet a kidney. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would go that far. I
thought I'd be 100% I definitely would do it, but I'm a little him-ha about it.
Yeah, because you just said you would. Now you don't know.
Yeah, well, because...
Your cat wouldn't want your liver. Nobody would. Not one person would want that liver.
86% of pet owners say they worry about their pet's health as much as or more than their own.
Definitely way more than my own. I always make sure, I could have absolutely no groceries, but I'm like, I can afford to not eat for a couple days, but my dogs, nah, they can't afford that.
You're kind of freaky with the whole dog thing.
I know, it is borderline weird.
On liver number 2, Jesus texted in and said, hey, no take-backs.
I don't know. I mean, I've had some great pets in my lifetime. But I don't know if I would put my health in that type of jeopardy. I do a lot for my pets to keep them alive. I have done a lot for my pets to keep them alive.
I would take someone else's kidney for my pet.
Well, I can see you doing that.
Volunteer or not?
Yeah.
One of those where they wake up in a bathtub full of ice situation?
Absolutely. Scars bleeding a little bit.
The worst friggin' part of taking care of our pets is the cost.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
It is
that's
amazing.
a tough spot to be in, isn't it?
Yes.
When they say, yeah, we can save your pet, it's going to cost several $1,000s.
I went for it.
I went for it once, too, at a time I had no business spending. It was like $2,500.
Jesus.
One of the smartest...
it took me a long time to pay that off, and I don't think the cat cared.
I'll tell you. I mean...
Ungrateful.
This was a dog a number of years ago. It was $5-some-odd grand to save this dog's life. But here's what got me. We were at the emergency vet, and it was the clock is ticking, and that dog just looked at me at the right time. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And she had a look on her face like, I do not feel very good. By God, I don't. And I said, that's it. We're doing it. We're gonna. I forgot what they had to do. Pull out her gallbladder or something, or replace her lungs. Whatever it was. It was a lot of money. But she looked at me at the right time, and I said, God dang it. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
Dang, $5,000.
Oof.
Yeah. It was a hell of a deal.
This text says, living organ donor here. When you donate, if you end up needing one, you move to the top of the recipient list.
Oh, really?
That's interesting.
Okay. That's good to know.
There you go. Speaking of our pets, we should probably wrap things up and get home to them as soon as we can.
I bet they miss us.
They probably miss us quite a bit.
Best of luck to Kick Their Ass Seabass going in to take his CDL permit test. Happy belated 10th birthday to Micah from your favorite auntie, Shannon. Happy 20th to Molly from Dad, Asian Cop Jesus' cousin Jesus. Super, super hot girlfriend.
Who has a hot girlfriend?
I've never seen her.
Asian Cop Jesus' cousin Jesus?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Waffle, you're laughing because you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm laughing at the name. His name.
Well, what about the super hot? Happy 21st birthday to breeding cows and making vows, Jesus, from Iowa Show Steer Jesus. Happy birthday to Shingle Holland Jesus from I Welded It, Held It Jesus. And Hellbound Jesus, and a happy 61st to Dad.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.